what so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
And there you have our national anthem tonight from PA announcer Scott Colley. Time to look at the starting lineups, and they're brought to you by All Clean Services. Call All Clean Services for all your carpet, upholstery, tile, and grout cleaning and fire and water restoration services at 889-9645. All Clean Services, a proud sponsor of Hoppers Baseball. For Owensboro, under Coach Aaron Biddle, 5-9 on the season. Taylor Matthews in center field will lead things off, followed by Jordan Rhodes at third base, and Austin Edge will catch and hit third. John Saylor bats fourth and plays second base, with Colin Buckner in left field hitting number 5. Matt Sissel in right field bats 6. Jonathan Brynas bats 7th and DHs. Maldonio Gonzalez at first base hits 8th, and Brandon Morris bats 9th, and he'll play shortstop tonight for Owensboro. For the Hoppers, Brett Pirtle, the shortstop, leads it off, followed by Nolan Fisher at third. Cameron Olson, the catcher. Philip Manu at first base hits in the cleanup spot with Bobby Clark. The DH batting 5th. Fernando Tanaka in left field hits 6. Colin Massinelli in right field hits number 7. Matt McGowan, second baseman, hits number 8. And Caleb Brown in center field hits number 9 tonight for the Hoptown Hoppers. And a good crowd on hand again as the Hoppers in Owensboro getting set to play here in this game. Jason McDonald making his third start of the season. A 2-1 record. He's allowed 13 hits, 9 runs, 4 earned. That's an ERA of 2. Has walked 8, struck out 19 on this season for the Hoppers. And if you remember, he pitched a no-hitter the last time that he faced this Owensboro team back early in the season. Allowed 4 walks and 5 strikeouts in that ball game back in early June. Going to have a little interference tonight. Atmospheric conditions are as such. Nothing I can do about it. So hang with us, especially all of you that are listening out of town on the World Wide Web at WHOPAM.com. Setting the Hoppers around the field, Fernando Tanaka in left, Caleb Brown in center, Colin Massinelli in right, Nolan Fisher at third, Brett Pirtle short, Matt McGowan second, Philip Manu at first, with Cameron Olson, the battery mate tonight for Jason McDonald, Mr. Ray.
Well, we got another good baseball night. The atmospheric conditions may not be good, but you and I are pretty good, and
absolutely,
we're going to enjoy the game and try to call it the best way we can. And McDonald's ERA, what, 2.00? Is that what?
Yes, sir.
2.0, pretty good, pretty good. No hitter, of course, that's not bad either.
That was the second game of the year at home, and the first no-hitter in Hopper history, right out of the chute for one Jason McDonald, who's out of Lucedale, Mississippi, and Mississippi Gulf Coast Community College.
What would I tell you if I told you I saw a no-hitter in 1953?
I would be impressed.
You should be, because I didn't. I saw a few games in 53, 54, but
well,
I was a little tad, though.
Your nemesis is here tonight.
Who's that?
The judge.
You see who else is here tonight? You see a gray-haired guy over there with that pretty lady he's with?
Yes, sir.
You know who that is?
No, sir.
Bruce White.
Well, he was here Saturday night.
Was he?
Yes, sir.
First time I've seen him. I didn't get to come Saturday night, but he's over there with his lovely wife.
Center fielder Taylor Matthews to lead things off for the Owensboro Oilers, hitting at 163 on the year. No home runs and 6 runs batted in for Matthews, who's out of Collierville, Tennessee, and Murray State University. And our opening pitch tonight brought to you by TJ Storage Trailers, 935 Skyline Drive for weekly, monthly, and yearly storage at your location. Call 889-1118. Matthews on the year 0 for 4, just played one game against the Hoppers. And he takes the first pitch from McDonald for a strike at 7:05. Don Gilmore calling the balls and strikes tonight, and Rick Erickson umpiring on the bases. The strike one pitch by McDonald, here it is. And it's upstairs, 1 ball and 1 strike.
We know both umpires pretty well. Mr. Gilmore umpires a lot in the ACC, I believe.
And he's umpired in the past in the SEC, among others. Here's the 1-1. Strike on the inside corner, and the count now 1-2 to Matthews.
He played for me on the Babe Ruth team a long time ago.
Just a day or two ago,
Day
right?
Day or two ago.
Wind tonight blowing in from center right now as Matthews lifts a short fly in the right center, and it's caught by Colin Massinelli for the first out of the ball game. And the hitter now will be Jordan Rhodes. Rhodes out of Brescia University in Tell City, Indiana, hitting at even 200, no homers and 2 runs batted in. He's 3 for 7 on the year against Hopper pitching. Steps in from the left-hand side.
Trying to get my words right. Dying seagull, is that what they call that? Little
Dying quail.
Dying quail, little flip like that over the second baseman's head.
Yes, sir. And Rhodes sends the first pitch foul down the third baseline, strike 1. Rhodes did not play in the game last night against Marion, which Owensboro lost 13-2. And Marion, who's a half game behind the Hoppers, play Fulton tonight before coming here tomorrow. Second pitch hit foul up the third base side again, and the count is 0-2 to Rhodes. No balls, 2 strikes.
Everybody straight away. Outfield's a little shallow.
1 out, nobody on for the Oilers here in the top of the first, and McDonald misses outside with a off-speed pitch, and the count 1-2.
Good crowd. Not filled up, but there are a lot of people here.
Bring your school supplies if you're on the way to the park tonight as the pitch misses outside. Tonight and tomorrow night's games, you bring school supplies. They'll be given to the Family Resource and Youth Services Center to help all the youngsters in the Christian County Public School System. The 2-2 pitch, here it is from McDonald. Strike 3 called on the outside corner. Got him with an off-speed pitch, 2 down in the inning. And the batter now will be the catcher, Austin Edge.
Big K with a backward K, right?
Yes, sir.
Backward K, he called out on strikes.
Out of Whitesville, Kentucky, and Southeast Illinois Community College's Edge, hitting at .359, no homers and 7 batted in. And he lines the first pitch from McDonald into right field for a base hit.
Just eluded Mr. McGowan, a second baseman, by a little bit. He was running hard, but it just flipped right over his head a little bit.
Here's John Saylor. First time we've seen him. He's a freshman out of Mount Vernon, Kentucky, plays for Lincoln Memorial. Saylor at .222, no home runs and 1 run batted in. This will be the first time. I'll go back and double-check myself just to make sure on that. He actually was 0 for 5 Monday night against the Hoppers in that 7-6 loss to Owensboro, and the first pitch to him is a called strike. Saylor's kind of a utility man in that infield. He played third base against the Hoppers on Monday. McDonald strike 1 pitch. Curve missed outside. Good pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 down and a man on for Owensboro here in the top of the first.
I wish you'd look how close Cecil's playing in right field. Man, right behind second base a little bit. Not far.
Here's the pitch on the way. Here goes the runner. May have been a hit and run on that time. Foul ball. Count 1-2 to Saylor.
I believe it was. He tried to hit behind him. I believe it was a hit and run.
Now, you talked about how shallow Massinelli is playing in right. He's about 12, 15 steps from the infield dirt. Center fielder Brown playing shallow, as is the left fielder Tanaka. He might be the deepest one of the 3 out there. McDonald will work out of a stretch again. Here's a 1-2, and a curveball bounced to the right side. McGowan's play will be the first in time. Manu catches it, and the inning is over. In the first for Owensboro, no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and a man left. After a half inning of play, your score, Owensboro nothing. The Hoppers coming to bat. Back to the Applebee's broadcast booth in just a minute. You're listening to Hoppers Baseball on WHOP.
Herb Pace Furniture has everything I'm looking for. If they do not have it, they can get it. When I come here for living room furniture, bedroom furniture, dining room furniture, they have a great selection, but if it just doesn't happen to be on the showroom floor at the time that I'm looking, they can order it for me and have ordered things for me. I can get exactly what I want.
Herb Hayes.
College is on the mound for Owensboro. Pittman's numbers are a little something like this on the season. He has no starts, no complete games, has allowed 14 hits, 3 runs, walked 5 rather, struck out 7. His mark is 0-1 actually, 11 1/3 innings with an ERA of 0 as he has not allowed an earned run. Pittman pitched 3 1/3 innings in that first game that Owensboro played here, the 9-0 game, which Jason McDonald pitched a no-hitter. He pitched 3 1/3 innings, 4 hits, a walk, and a strikeout in that game. His mates in the field, Colin Buckner in left, Taylor Matthews in center, and Matt Sissel in right, Jordan Rhodes third, Brandon Morris short, John Saylor second, Maldonio Gonzalez at first, with Austin Edge behind the plate. Well, here's Brett Pirtle to lead things off for the Hoppers, hitting at .395, no home runs. And he has 9 runs driven in, 4 for 7 on the year against Owensboro. He did not play in the game Monday night up at Chautauqua Park. Here's the wind of the first pitch to Brett, and it's a strike on the outside corner. Got a nice email from his mom. As a matter of fact, Miss Andrea Pirtle sent an email and thanked us for our radio coverage, and I know they're listening down in Longview, Texas tonight. As the pitch is a ball 1-1. We also received a nice note from Tony Mazzella's mom, Donna, who's listening up in New York. And we'll give her a shout-out, and a shout-out to all the Hopper parents listening around the country. 1-1 to Pirtle, hit foul up the first base line. And the count now 1 ball and 2 strikes to Brett.
About all over the world, aren't they? That's Texas and New York. How much further away can you get from each
I
other?
almost forgot. Fernando Tanaka's parents have listened to us in Brazil, where he's from, Sao Paulo, Brazil.
Right?
Yes,
Is
sir.
that right?
1-2 pitch on the way. It's a little outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
I've been to Texas and New York, but I've never been to Brazil.
Me neither.
Maybe they'd invite us down sometime.
Absolutely. The 2-2 pitch on the way is inside for ball 3. 3 balls and 2 strikes. We're having a little problem tonight. I would suspect again that it is the weather kind of messing us around a little bit here. Maybe we'll get it straightened out here shortly. Here's a pitch line down the right field line. That's a fair ball. Pirtle is on his way around first as that ball caroms into the right field corner. Pirtle's going to take the turn at second. He's going to try to start things off with a leadoff triple, and he's done just that. A triple down the right field line for Brett Pirtle here in the bottom of the first. And the Hoppers have their first scoring opportunity of the night, 90 feet away at third base.
That went in the bullpen. That was hooking pretty good after it hit inside the foul line, fair ball, and hooked right into the bullpen.
That for Pirtle is his first triple of the year. As a matter of fact, the Hoppers as a team now have only 2. Here's Nolan Fisher at .270 on the year. No homers and 5 batted in. Infield is up on the corners for Owensboro here. And Fisher sends one down the line, and that's a fair ball. Pirtle went back to the bag to make sure it was fair. He comes home easily to score. Fisher with a 2-base hit. Hoppers have a 1-0 lead here in the bottom of the first inning.
He got one down the first base line, one down the third base line, a double and triple. That's not a bad start.
Fisher picks up his 4th RBI of the year as Pirtle comes home to score the first Hopper run. And the batter now will be the catcher, Cameron Olson. For Fisher, that's his 4th double of the season, which ties him with Sandlin for the team lead. And the first pitch from Pittman to Cameron Olson is a breaking ball outside. Olson at .231 on the year, no homers and 4 batted in. He's 3 for 10 on the season against Owensboro pitching. Now the pitch, fastball strike, and the count evens at 1-1.
Slow curve and a fastball.
It's interesting to note that Pirtle and Fisher, who both had hits to start this inning, now have 5 against Owensboro this season, 5 apiece. The 1-1 pitch, a little excuse me swing, hit left of the mound. Third baseman charges. Here's his throw. It is in time to get Olson at first on a bang-bang play as Rhodes throws him out. But Fisher moves to third on the play. 1 out in the inning now for the batter, the first baseman, Philip Manu.
That was a little excuse me swing. He didn't mean to swing. The bat got in the way of the ball, and they just dribbled it down toward the third baseman. He got him by about a half a step. Pretty close.
It did get the runner moved to third base in Fisher as Manu steps in. .250 on the year, no homers and 5 batted in. for the first baseman out of Lake Charles, Louisiana. And he swings through a curveball and misses, strike one.
Infield playing back, so he got a good chance to score. Shortstop's midways. They could throw him out at home. The second base is way deep.
Manu 1 for 5 in the game Monday at Owensboro, and he's 4 for 12 against the Oilers this year. Big bouncer to second that Saylor plays. His throw to first is in time for the out, but Fisher comes home to score to make it a 2-0 ball game, and Manu will get his 6th run batted into the year.
RBI doesn't make a difference how you get them to score. Just get them to score.
2 down now for the designated hitter, Bobby Clark. Clark at $182, no homers and 6 batted in. Here's the first pitch, and Clark pops it up into the infield, and it's dropped on the second baseman, Saylor, who thought he had an easy play, and the ball just simply fell out of his glove.
Well, did you see the shortstop got too close to him? The shortstop went run over like he was going to catch it. He should never have done that. I don't know if that's what messed him up or not, but it would have been me if I'd have been trying to catch it. Heard a few footsteps around me. He shouldn't have done that.
Morris was just a few steps away from him when he tried to catch that ball, and now here's Fernando Tanaka, who's been swinging a pretty hot stick of late. 269, no homers and 2 batted in for the Stillman College player out of Sao Paulo, Brazil. Getting the start in left field tonight. And he takes a breaking ball from Pittman on the inside corner for a strike, and the count 0-1.
Mr. Gilmore wants you to know what's a striker ball. He calls it pretty loud, doesn't he?
I like it.
I do, too.
Tanaka was 0 for 4 Monday night at Owensboro. We're going to give this to our studio engineer, Matt Snorton. Between innings, Matt, we're going to switch the Marty channels. You need to switch yours, and we'll switch ours here and see if that clears up this interference problem that we have. We'll go to the number 1 frequency. I believe that's what we've got to go to. Here's the strike 1 pitch. That hit Tanaka in the foot, and he's going to go down to first base.
What else could happen this first inning?
Well, I tell you what, little of everything has happened, and the Hoppers have taken advantage of it with scoring 2 runs. Here's the right fielder, Carlin Massanelli, out of Pine Bluff, Arkansas, hitting it even 200 on the year. This will be the first time that he's faced Owensboro pitching this season.
And he's the real right fielder. But he's batting right now.
Yes. 2 outs and runners at first and second for the Hoppers. And here's a pitch fouled back, strike 1.
I doubt you're not supposed to do that with a screen up there.
Nope. Jack Harbaugh would fuss at you for doing that.
I flinched a little bit. I wasn't supposed to flinch.
1 strike to the batter, Massanelli. As Don Gilmore retrieves the loose baseball.
And he's looking down there at those players. They're supposed to retrieve those loose baseballs.
Right.
He's staring them down like, come pick those balls up.
1 strike to the batter, Massanelli, with Matt McGowan on deck. 2 outs and 2 on for the Hoppers here in the bottom of the first inning. The 0-1 pitch, and that's a curveball high, 1-1 to Massanelli. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. 2-0 Hoppers here in the bottom of the first. Now a turn, and Pittman looks the runner back to second base, Clark. Hoppers have 2 hits in this inning, a triple by Pirtle, a double by Fisher. The 1-1, and Massanelli takes high, 2 balls and 1 strike. You having a little problem over there?
There's a bug crawling down my little back. I guess he's gone.
2 balls, 1 strike. Runners take their leads at first and second. Pittman out of a stretch and a pitch, and it's popped up foul, and the count evens 2 balls and 2 strikes.
I remember talking to Tony Kubek one time. He played for Owensboro in the old kiddie league, and he was very fond of the kiddie league. I was up in Cincinnati, and he was doing. And now, if you're young listening, maybe you don't ever heard of Tony Kubek, but he was a star for the Yankees.
Great shortstop, and then went on and worked on NBC for many years as their color analyst.
Saw him with Kurt Gowdy, and he was very friendly talking to each of us.
2-2 pitch from Pittman is outside, and the string is out. 3-2 to Massanelli. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Runners will be away. Clark at second, Tanaka at first. As Pittman works out of a stretch, here's the pitch, and it's lined right to the first baseman, Gonzalez, who makes a nice play. That will end the inning, but it is productive for the Hoppers. They score 2 runs in the inning on 2 hits, 1 Owensboro error, 2 runners left. After an inning, Hoppers 2, Owensboro nothing. Back in a minute. You're listening to Hoppers Baseball on WHOP. Mason McDonald's first pitch to Colin Buckner is a ball. Buckner hitting at 180, no home runs and 4 runs batted in. He's out of Harrodsburg, Kentucky, and Lincoln Memorial College. And the next pitch misses for ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. Hoppers lead 2-0 as we play here in the top of the second. Buckner on the year 0 for 11 against Hopper pitching. And he sends that one into the gap to right center. Long run for Massanelli. He won't get it. It's up against the fence. And Buckner digging for 2. Now the ball's kind of bobbled in the outfield, and it's going to be a 3-base hit for Buckner to start the second. Actually, it'll probably be a 2-base hit and then an error when the ball was dropped in the outfield, as Massanelli had a hard time picking it up.
Yeah, that's what I'd say it was for sure.
So a 2-base hit for Buckner now, and the tying run comes to the plate. That's Buckner's 4th double of the year. And the hitter now is Matt Sissel, hitting at $150 with no homers and 1 batted in. Sissel 1 for 7 in 2 games against the Hoppers this season. And the first pitch to him is a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. One ball, no strikes. Nobody out. Runner at third. The pitch. And a high pop-up on the infield. Shortstop Pirtle is right there, and that's out number 1. 1 away now, and the designated hitter, Jonathan Brenez, will come to the plate. Brenez at .429, no homers and 4 batted in. This will be his first time to bat against the Hoppers this season.
Well, if the Hoppers could get out of this with no runs, with the first man on on third base, it'd be nice.
Hoppers Baseball brought to you in part by Hilliard Lions, as Brenez is hit by the pitch, and he'll go down to first base. Runners now at first and third. Hilliard Lions at 1003 South Virginia Street. For a financial consultant who can help you stay focused on your long-term financial goals, come by or call 886-0267. Hilliard Lions, member New York Stock Exchange, FINRA, and SIPC. Well, here's Maldonio Gonzalez, hitting at .214 on the year. No homers and 5 batted in. Gonzalez, a left-hand batter out of Iowa Lake Community College. He, along with Rosales and Brenez, are all out of Venezuela. McDonald will work out of his stretch. Here's the first pitch. Gonzalez takes low in the dirt, ball 1.
He's got him a protector on in case he fouls ball off his right foot.
May have taken 1 or 2 in the foot there.
I bet he has too, trying to be careful.
Gonzalez in 2 games against the Hoppers is 3 for 8 on the season. And last night against Marion, he went 0 for 3. Was 2 for 5 against the Hoppers Monday night in the game up in Owensboro. Pitches a ball outside. 2 balls and no strikes now to Gonzalez.
Oh, he's talking about Tony Kubek. How about telling everybody out there listening worldwide that Dusty Rose played for
the Hoptown Hoppers.
Hoptown Hoppers put a home run in the 1951-52 playoff of the World Series. I can't
54
remember.
World Series.
54 World Series.
Swing and a miss. 2-1 to Gonzalez on an off-speed pitch by McDonald.
The shot heard around the world.
No, that was Bobby Thompson.
Oh, that's Bobby Thompson. Oh, I'm just acing them tonight, Art.
You're 0 for tonight, Ray.
Well, we'll call it shot heard around the world anyway.
The 2-1 pitch, but first to throw to first, and the runner's back over there.
Wonder how many more played in the major leagues. I don't know.
That would be a good stat to
William
look up.
Turner may know some stuff like that.
The 2-1 pitch by McDonald is outside for ball 3. 3-1 to Gonzalez.
And we do have 2 people here in Hopperville that played the old Kitty League.
Yep. Pete Harbold, who threw out the opening pitch, and Dalton Hancock, who was here with him a couple of weeks ago.
In fact, Pete Harbold ended up in this town because of the Hoppers.
The 3-1 pitch from McDonald, and it's lifted in the air to left. Tanaka is under it. We'll see if the runner at third tags. Yep, he's thinking about going, but a great throw back to the infield by Tanaka. And back to third goes Buckner, 2 down in the inning, and the hitter will be Brandon Morris. Morris out of Powell, Tennessee, and Lincoln Memorial College, hitting at .250. No homers or runs batted in.
Still on first and third, but now we got 2 outs.
Morris did not play the other night against the Hoppers in the contest in Owensboro. Matter of fact, he's not batted against the Hoppers this year as he takes the first pitch from Jason McDonald for a ball outside. 1 ball, no strikes, 2 outs in the inning. Now the stretch by McDonald. Check of Buckner, check of Bernez, and the fastball is high, 2-0 the count.
I would think there's enough games to keep most of these kids happy. I don't play every one of them, it doesn't sound like, but keeps them happy. They're playing a lot of ball anyway.
Getting some very valuable experience and can hopefully utilize that to help their collegiate teams next season. 2-0 the count. Throw to first and the runner back. Two balls, no strikes. Now the stretch and the pitch by McDonald. Fastball swung on and missed. And Morris now has a strike to go with 2 balls. 2 balls, 1 strike the count. Outfield playing the hitter pretty much straight away. Massanelli very shallow and right as he has been the whole game. The pitch. High and outside. 3-1 the count, even though Morris had a faint-hearted motion of swinging at that pitch.
It was pretty close. I thought they'd go to the first base umpire. Well, the other umpire. We only got 2.
3 balls, 1 strike. Now time asked for by Morris. He'll back out of the batter's box for just a second, and now is back in. McDonald will check Buckner at third, Bernez at first. Out of the stretch he comes, and here's the 3-1. And that's ball 4, and the bases are loaded. That's the first walk allowed by McDonald. The Ducks are on the pond, and this will prompt Grayson Crawford to come to the mound for a visit.
Now you got them where you want them. Got them full. Got them out anywhere.
Hoppers Baseball brought to you in part by Agrichem, providing service to the farming community for many years with locations in Hopkinsville, Herndon, Trenton, and Princeton. Agrichem is the farmer's choice. Remember, the Hoppers are home again tomorrow night. Marion will come to town to take on the Hoppers. 7:05 first pitch. It's Hopkinsville Community College night at the park. And again, like this evening, if you bring school supplies for the Family Resource and Youth Services Center, you'll get you a $2.50 ticket. And season ticket holders are also encouraged to bring school supplies as well. Well, here's Matthews 0 for 1. He flied out his first time to the right fielder, Massanelli.
Hoppers want to out any way you can get it. Give me an out. Give me an out.
Ducks on the pond. McDonald shakes off a couple of signs, and now Matthews thinks he took too long and backs out of the batter's box.
How many pitches does he have? More than 2, I guess.
McDonald will come out of a stretch. He'll check the runners in the pitch. Fastball is low, ball 1.
It was close, a little bit low.
1 ball, no strikes to Matthews. Buckner reached on a double, and then the ball was booted in the outfield, got him to third. A pop out by Sissel. Bernez was hit by a pitch, and Morris just walked to load the bases. Sandwiched in between a fly out by Gonzalez. It's 2-0 now to Matthews.
Todd, they're playing so close. If they hit one by them, they'll unload those bases in a hurry. Over their head or something in the outfield, it'll unload them.
2-0 the count. Here's the pitch to Matthews. He takes fastball high from McDonald, and the count 3-0.
Gonna walk one in here if not careful.
Well, Coach Crawford, you heard in the pregame tonight say that Jason struggled a bit in his last start.
Shouldn't be shaking anything. I better be throwing that fastball about 3 pitches in a row.
Matthews probably has a green light here at 3-0, and he takes ball 4, and that walks in a run. So Owensboro on the board as Buckner comes home to score. It's now a 2-1 ball game. The bases are still loaded for Rhodes, who was called out on strikes back in the first inning. Rhodes 3 for 8 on the year against Hopper pitching. Ducks are still out there on the pond for the Oilers. Here's the first pitch. Fastball strike on the outside corner to Rhodes, and the count 0-1.
And he was probably going to take until there was a strike thrown. I don't blame him. That's what I'd been doing too. Take it till you get a strike.
0-1 pitch forthcoming from McDonald, and here it is. Fastball bit inside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Bernez at third, Morris at second, and Matthews at first. Oilers trying to snap a 2-game losing streak here tonight. Here's the 1-1, and line foul out of play third base side. And the count now 1 ball and 2 strikes to Rhodes.
And nobody's holding anybody on, and with 2 outs, they're all at the crack of the bat. They're all going to be running and running hard.
1-2, the count now to Rhodes. McDonald out of a stretch. He kicks and deals, and same pitch with that fastball. Hit foul, third base side, and the youngsters are off on a scramble, and the count 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Jordan Rhodes with Austin Edge waiting on deck for the Oilers. Bases loaded with 2 outs. Hoppers have a 1-run lead at 2-1. Here's the pause in the pitch by McDonald. Breaking ball missed just low. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Jordan Rhodes.
And center fielder Brown has moved over toward left field a little bit.
Yep, he's out in the gap, toward the gap in left center. Tanaka still playing shallow in left, and Massinelli still somewhat shallow in right. Here's a ground ball hit to short. Pirtle will go the short way to second on the force out of Matthews, and that will end the inning for Owensboro here in the second. For the Oilers, they do get 1 run in the inning on 1 base hit, 1 Hopper error, 3 runners left, and Owensboro has stranded 4 through an inning and a half. It's the Hoppers 2 and Owensboro 1. Back in a minute. You're listening to Hoppers Baseball on WHOP.
The people at Herb Hayes Furniture are like no other. They treat you like family, and they have a professional delivery staff. They're very cooperative. They moved my furniture around. They actually took care of getting rid of a couple things that I didn't have room for, and they were so courteous.
Herb Hayes Furniture, always the best.
Last of the second for the Hoppers, hitting at .345. No homers and 2 runs batted in for the Hopkinsville native who plays at Olney Junior College. And Austin Pittman's first pitch is low for ball 1. It'll be McGowan, Brown, and Pirtle to bat here in the second inning for the Hoppers. Here's the next pitch to McGowan, and it's a strike on the outside corner. Count evens at 1-1.
I tell you what, this pitcher doesn't waste any time, does he? As soon as he gets that ball, he's wailing back to the catcher.
Pittman, a quick worker. We noted that in the first outing that we saw him. Here's a changeup on the inside corner, and the count 1-2 to McGowan.
Curveball just got the corner. Slow curveball, that.
Outfield straight away, about halfway for the batter McGowan. Pittman out of a windup. Here's the 1-2, and McGowan goes to the opposite field and gets himself a leadoff hit. That ball took a funky hop coming off the back of the infield, but a good heads-up play by Sissel to stay with it.
Sissel even barehanded it.
Yep.
Bounced to his left, or his right, our left, and he barehanded it and caught it.
Here's Caleb Brown, who's 1 for 3 on the year against Owensboro pitching, and scored the winning run Monday night in the game up in Owensboro. Brown standing in there from Jonesboro, Arkansas, home of Arkansas State University. That's where he plays. Here's the first pitch to Caleb, and it hit him.
If you're going to get hit by a slow curveball. That's the best ball to get hit by, and that's what hit him.
That's the second hit batsman in as many innings. As McGowan will move to second, and here's Brett Pirtle, who had a triple his first time up and scored. He is now 5 for 8 on the year against Owensboro pitching. Hoppers is a team hitting .245 on the year.
So who played short last night?
Hoppers didn't play last night.
Oh, no. When he didn't start, though, when Pirtle didn't play.
Tanaka was the shortstop Monday night.
Tanaka.
And Pirtle bunts the first pitch foul, strike 1. 1 strike and nothing.
Thought Mr. McGowan might have played short. He's played short, I think you said one time.
He did early in the year, but he's played most of the time at second base this season, and he and Pirtle have become quite the nice middle infield duo for this Hopper team.
Exactly right is what I was getting to there. Really playing good at second and short.
The 0-1, Pirtle pops it up again, fouls it back in the count 0-2. He tried to bunt on that pitch to move the runners along.
First and second base, no outs. Good chance to score some runs.
Absolutely. Hoppers lead here 2-1. Scoring twice in the bottom of the first, and then Owensboro picked up a run in the top of the second inning. We'll run through the major league scores as we have a little time here. Here's the pitch to Pirtle in the dirt ball 1. We can tell you the finals in interleague play today. Atlanta beat the Yankees 10-5. Kansas City 2-1 over Houston. Milwaukee beat Toronto 8-3, and Arizona won a slugfest with Seattle 14-10 out in the desert. 1-2 to count to Brett Pirtle. Runners at first and second. Nobody out for the Hoppers here in the bottom of the second. Austin Pittman out of a stretch and a pitch, and Pirtle fouls it off. Texas leads San Diego 3-2 after 6. Cleveland 5-0 over the Reds, top of the 6th. Bottom of the 5th, Rockies and Phillies are in quite a game at 5. Bottom of the 6th, Minnesota leads Pittsburgh 1-0. Cardinals lead the Tigers 2-1, bottom of the 6th. Washington over Tampa Bay 3-2, bottom of the 5th. 1-2 to Pirtle's in the dirt, 2-2. And a good save by Edge to prevent the runners from going.
He blocked it nicely.
Mets over the Orioles 3-0, bottom of the 5th. Boston leads Miami 7-4, bottom of the 4th. Cubs and the White Sox scoreless in the middle of the second inning. Here it's 2-2 to Brett Pirtle. And a 2-1 Hoppers lead. And now Pittman will look McGowan back to second base. The late games in baseball tonight, only one, the Dodgers and the Athletics up in Oakland. Pittman checks the runners, a 2-2 to the plate, and Pirtle takes it outside for ball 3, and the string is out at 3-2.
Pirtle batting left-handed, of course, and there's a lot of room between first and second. Second base was not playing very deep.
I remember that triple he got in the first inning. He pulled it down the right field line, and the ball carried into the bullpen.
Exactly.
3-2 pitch, and Pirtle pops it up in the left center. Buckner has got it, and that's the first out of the inning. So Pirtle retired for out number 1. The batter will be Nolan Fisher, who doubled to left down the third base line and would eventually score himself later in that first inning on the ground out by Manu.
He could have bunted to second and third, but he's probably too good a hitter to lose a hit, but he popped it up.
So here's Fisher standing in 1 for 1. He's now 5 for 12 on the year against Owensboro pitching and takes a curve on the inside corner for a strike from Pittman, 0-1. 1 strike and 1 out. Hoppers trying to keep their 2-game winning streak going. They're leading here 2-1. The pitch grounded to third. Off the third baseman Rhodes. It caroms to the shortstop, and everybody is safe.
E5.
And that's how it will be scored as an error. That for Owensboro, their second error of the game. And now you got the Ducks on the pond for Mr. Olson.
With 1 out, fly ball, score a run.
Cameron 3 for 11 with a couple of ribbies against Owensboro this season.
You know, Todd, I might have said E5, but it was a hard hit.
Well,
third baseman.
They gave it officially an E5 as well.
Exactly right.
Here's the first pitch to Olson. The left-hand batter takes a strike 0-1. Olson out of Yuba City, California, and Cal Davis. 1 strike and 1 out. Here's the check and the pitch. A swing and a miss, and the count 0-2.
Yeah, bad pitch, a little bit too far outside.
On deck is first baseman Philip Manu for the Hoppers. 2-1, Hoptown leads here in the bottom of the second inning with the bases loaded. The 0-2 pitch. Olson takes low for a ball, 1-2 the count.
Trying to waste one, trying to get him to go for a bad pitch, as he did his pitch before.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Now the stretch and the pitch by Pittman. Bouncing ball to the right side. First baseman bobbles it, picks it up finally to the pitcher in time for the out. Gonzalez did a great job to stay with it. He tried to backhand it, and it went off his glove, but Pittman going over to the bag covered. 3-1 on the out for the second out. But Olson does get an RBI as McGowan comes home to score. Brown moves to third, and a Fisher to second. It's now a 3-1 Hopper lead. Manu had a ground ball to the second baseman his first time that brought home a run. Pittman still working out of a stretch. And the pitch to Manu. Fastball is low, ball one. Manu out of Southern Arkansas University. We mentioned earlier from Lake Charles, Louisiana. About an hour west of Lafayette, headed toward Houston. Pitches a ball low. 2 balls and no strikes to Manu.
I'm probably wrong, but is that where Cotton Nash is from? Lake Charles, Louisiana? St. Charles, Louisiana? Somewhere like that. Okay, don't answer that.
I'm not going to answer it because I don't want to be put on the spot. Where's Judge Tribble when we need him? He knows his UK stuff now.
I think that's where he's from, Lake Charles, Louisiana. But he played in Indianapolis at one time, his sophomore year.
2-0 pitch. Inside for ball 3, 3-0 to Manu. Lake Charles is the home of McNeese State University also.
It is.
They played Western Kentucky, if you remember, in the 2002 national championship in Division I AA football. They're going to put Manu on with the intentional walk. And that will be the first walk of the night allowed by Pittman. And the hitter now will be Clark, who reached on an error his first time.
I guess that's an intentional walk because he intentionally threw one outside, so I guess that's a high W.
So now the base is loaded again for the Hoppers with a 3-1 lead. And a chance here for Clark to bring home 1, maybe 2. Here's the pitch to him. He swings and misses through a good fastball, strike 1.
Mr. Hamlin, has anybody hit any over the fence this year here?
No Hopper has hit a home run. There's been 1 hit this year. One of the Fulton players did it when they played here early in the season.
Be a good chance right now to hit one.
Well, we take a grand salami and build a lead. Clark takes a breaking ball inside, and the count even to him at 1 ball and 1 strike. Matter of fact, since you brought that subject up, go back and look. It was the Fulton game in which there was a home run hit. Here's the check of the pitch to Clark, and he takes inside 2 balls and 1 strike. It was in the 9th inning by Austin Bryant, a 2-run shot.
I didn't think I'd seen one since I've been to most of them, not all of them.
2-1 to Clark now. Brown at third, Fisher second, Manu at first. Outfield straightaway and fairly deep, and Clark rips one in the air to left, but right there under it is Buckner to make the catch. And that will end the inning for the Hoppers. But a run across in the second, 1 run for the Hoppers in the inning on 1 base hit, 1 error, and 3 men left. Hoppers have stranded 5. And after 2, your score, it's the Hoppers 3, Owensboro 1. Back in a minute. You're listening to Hopper Baseball on W. Edge had a single to right his first time up. He's 2 for 9 on the year against Hopper pitching and hits the first pitch into the air to short right. Massinelli comes on to play the pop-up, and that's 1 out. 1 pitch and 1 out as John Saylor comes to the plate now. Hopper Baseball brought to you by McGee Pest Control, serving the Hopkinsville area with termite and pest control since 1958. Located at 1826 Walnut, call 885-BUGS or visit online at McGeePestControl.com. First pitch to Saylor is a ball, as Jason McDonald ready to go to work with the next one. And it's ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes.
McDonald throws pretty hard.
2 balls, no strikes to count. And the next pitch is in for a strike, and the count now 2-1.
Strike 1. You hear that, umpire? Strike
I did.
1.
You know who was one of the greats in the major leagues that did that so well? As the pitch is high, 3-1. Remember a guy named Dutch Rennert in the National League?
Mm-hmm.
You always knew when it was a strike when he was calling the games.
Strike 1.
He was very pronounced with it. 3-1 hit in the air to right. Massinelli will back up a couple of steps. 2 down in the inning, and the batter now will be Buckner, who had a double and moved to third when the ball was dropped by Massinelli back in the last inning and would score. Owensboro's 1.
Maybe that's why Massinelli's playing close out there. He just caught 2 fly balls, didn't he?
Could be.
Maybe that's why I think they got in position pretty well on these two batters.
Yes, sir. First pitch, and it's tight for a ball to Buckner. 1 ball and no strikes. Now, Dutch Rennert was very pronounced. It would be strike one. You know, you could hear him all over the ballpark. I remember sitting in Cincinnati one afternoon, sitting down the first baseline. You could hear him where we were. 1-0 pitch. That's a strike at the knees, and the count evens 1-1.
I believe they can hear him on the radio, probably.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Umpire.
Here's the 1-1 by McDonald, and it's strike 2 on the outside corner with a good fastball. 1-2 to Buckner. Matt Sissel waits on deck for Owensboro. 3-1 Hoppers lead here in the top of the third inning. The pitch by McDonald, waste one outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Outfield shades the hitter a couple of steps to right center. Here's the wind of the pitch by McDonald. Hit foul first base side. 2-2. The count to Colin Buckner.
By the way, I parked down the right. What was that?
That was a sound effect, Ray.
Ooh, thank goodness. I was going to say I parked right beside your car.
That's kind of the danger zone down there. Deuce's
right.
Wild pitch. And McDonald just missed low with a fastball, and the count goes full, 3-2.
Started to say that, I thought a window just broke.
Now, they've been getting a few more sound effects here over the PA. 3-2 pitches drilled foul left side and out of play. And off go the youngsters on a race. The baseball game that was going on up in the field kind of broke up quick.
Pulled about 300 feet to the left side of the out of foul territory.
McDonald will try another payoff pitch here, and here it is. And he got him swinging on an off-speed pitch. And for Jason McDonald, his second strikeout of the game. And the Oilers go down in order 1-2-3 here in the top of the third. We're in the middle of the third inning with the score. Hoppers 3, Owensboro 1. Back in a minute. You're listening to Hoppers Baseball on WHOP.
It's a very relaxing environment for us shopping at Herb Hayes Furniture. Heg has actually come to our home, gotten a feel for the decor that we like, the paint schemes that we have in our house, and then we come back here and it's much easier to start picking out, you know, the furnishings that we want. More like coming in and being greeted by family.
Herb Hayes Furniture. Always the best.
Fernando Tanaka leads it off here in the bottom of the third. Tanaka was hit by a pitch his first time. He's 1 for 7 against Owensboro pitching this season. Right-hand batter, and Pittman's first pitch is fouled off. Strike 1 to Tanaka.
Tanaka has that number 13, too. Some people love it, some people hate it.
One guy I know who wore that number 13, caught for the Dodgers back in the 70s, Joe Ferguson. Here's the 0-1. And Tanaka drills one in the left, and that's a base hit. That's near the foul line. Down it goes by the foul pole. And Tanaka digging for 2, and he is going to be in with a leadoff double.
Tell you what, he golfed that one. That was a 9-iron. Or, well, that's a little bit further than a 9-iron. That's a 4-iron for me.
That's about a 7 or 8 iron. Well, no, in his case, it might be a 9 iron.
He hit a line drive right over the third baseman's head, went right to the foul.
Tanaka with his 3rd double of the year and just his 2nd hit against Owensboro pitching this season. And here's Massinelli, who lined to the first baseman to end the first inning of play. So the Hoppers trying to add to the 3-1 lead as Tanaka gets the 4th hit of the night for the homestanding club. Massinelli asks for time. Left-hand batter back into the box now.
Starting off the inning with a hit.
Now Don
good.
Gilmore has time again. I don't know what that's all about, but nevertheless, time called, and now everything's situated and ready to rock and roll. Pittman works out of a stretch, and the first pitch to Massinelli fouled off to the left side, strike 1. Hopper Baseball brought to you in part by The Place, a local eatery and downtown delivery company. Check out the daily lunch specials along with soup and quiche of the day and great house-made desserts. They're open for lunch 11 to 3, Friday night fish fry 4 to 9. The place to go order or catering needs 874-5357. Pittman taking a long time, now delivers the pitch, line back up the middle, a base hit. Tanaka will be waved around third. Here's the throw coming in a little low and a little late. Tanaka scores, and the Hoppers have a 4-1 lead.
Good base hit up the middle. He made a pretty good throw at home, a little bit late. Got it on the second or third hop. And he slid in, touched home plate, and run scored.
Well, the Hoppers have now scored one run in every inning, at least one run, as Massanelli gets his first RBI of the year and bringing home Tanaka. And with nobody out, here's McGowan, who had a single to right in the last inning to lead things off.
That's right, and still no outs.
4-1 Hoppers lead here in the bottom of the third. Pitch on the way, and McGowan takes the strike.
Thought he was going to try to lay it down there for a second.
Well, he looked like he was going to bunt.
Yeah, put his foot behind him like he was going to bunt it, and then changed his mind. Thought it was going to be a ball, but it was a strike.
1 strike and nothing. Nobody out in the inning. Now a throw to first, and the runner is back.
Of course, McGowan had 2 strikes on him the last inning and hit it to right. He challenged him pretty good.
1 strike to right-handed hitting Matt McGowan. He'll throw to first again, and Massanelli is back into the bag. Massanelli does not have a stolen base this year. Now the stretch and a pitch by Pittman. Curve line, left field, foul.
Had Matt McGowan wait for that curveball. He didn't jump out of the way. He just stood there and waited for it and hit it hard. It was a foul ball.
0-2 now, the count to McGowan. Nobody out and a run home for the Hoppers with Massanelli at first. Hoppers lead here 4-1. Here goes Massanelli. A little hit and run on. McGowan got around on it late, fouled it off, and the count stays 0-2.
Of course, on a 0-2 count, you don't have to throw it across the plate. I'd have had a pitch out if I'd have thought for a chance. If Owensboro thought for a chance that Hoppers were going to be trying to steal second, because you can waste a pitch.
0-2 the count. Massanelli with a short lead at first, held on by Gonzalez. Pittman out of a stretch. Kicks and delivers. And McGowan hits a ground ball to the left side. It's in the hole. It's short. Nice throw by Morris, but it's not going to be in time. And everybody's safe. That was a great piece of hitting by McGowan. He slowly hit it into the hole at shortstop and gets an infield hit, his second hit of the game. Now the Hoppers have runners at first and second with nobody out for Caleb Brown.
He protected the plate real well with 2 strikes and no balls, and he just, like I said, chopped it down to the shortstop. It was a real slow roller.
Brown hit by a pitch his first time up in the last inning. He will bunt, pops it up, and it's going to get back off the screen. Foul ball, strike 1. It was caught by the catcher Edge, but after it hit the netting.
Don't count off after a bounce, does it?
Nope, you can't play a deflection.
Can't play a deflection.
Not like arena football when you can play it off the net.
That's right.
1 strike to the batter, Brown.
I haven't watched too much of that arena football.
It's pretty interesting if you ever watch it in person. First baseman Gonzalez way in, anticipating the bunt. The bunt's laid down to the left side. Second baseman goes to cover, and he's safe. And that's going to be an infield hit for Brown.
Actually, the second baseman was a little late getting there, and when he threw it over there, it was going to be hard to get him anyway. Sawyer covered it, but he was a little bit late.
So the bases are loaded thanks to 2 infield singles. And Massanelli with a base hit, and with nobody out, Brett Pirtle becomes the 4th or 5th man to bat in the inning. He's 1 for 2, flied to left his last time up, triple to right field down the line in the first inning of play.
2 infield hits, last 2 batters.
5 for 9 against Owensboro pitching on the year is Mr. Pirtle. And here's Pittman out of a stretch and a pitch, and Pirtle tried to pull it again, but it goes foul. Strike 1. Don Gilmore wanting some new apples. He'd run completely out of baseballs. Maybe some of the youngsters who chase souvenirs down didn't bring them back.
No, they're keeping them.
I don't think Miss Finney would like them keeping those baseballs.
You'd be grabbing them, wouldn't you?
Infield up all the way around with nobody out, and the pitch is a ball. 1-1. The count now to Brett Pirtle. 1 ball, 1 strike. Massanelli third, McGowan second, Brown at first. The pitch and a curve is lined to right. That ball's going to fall in for a hit. 1 run will score at least. The bases remain loaded. And the Hoppers lead 5-1 as Massanelli comes home to score. McGowan to third, Brown to second. And Pirtle's now 2 for 3. with an RBI.
Pretty good hitting.
Hoppers now with 8 hits in the game. And here's Nolan Fisher. Doubled to left in the first and scored. Reached on an error in the second inning by the third baseman Rhodes.
I was pointing out nobody's warming up. I think Owensboro needs to get somebody warming up.
That's kind of a surprise to me that Aaron Biddle doesn't have anybody up in the pen yet.
No outs, bases loaded. 5-1. I'd have somebody up warming up.
You betcha. Here's the first pitch, and it's in the dirt low. Ball 1 to the batter, Nolan Fisher.
Well, there was no sense in sending a guy in that time try to score with no outs. You're going to have 2 more chances to get him to score.
1 ball and no strikes. 5-1 Hoppers in the bottom of the third. The pitch, and that one is smashed into left field for a hit. It's going to score at least 1. And a little station-to-station baseball as McGowan comes around to score. Fisher will pick up his 4th RBI of the season.
That ball is finding places to go through, and nobody's catching it.
C&I singles, would
C&I
you
singles,
say?
that's what that is, C&I singles.
So the Hoppers get their 3rd run of the inning. And the bases are still loaded with nobody out for Olson, who's grounded out to third and grounded to first. 6-1 Hoppers. They've out-hit Owensboro 9-2. The pause in the pitch, and it's low ball 1 to Olson. 1 ball and no strikes. 1 ball, no strikes, nobody out. The pause in the pitch again. Bouncer to the right side. This could be 2, 4, 6, 3.
Scored a run, though.
You got to run across as Brown came home to score. Pirtle moved to third. The double play turned by Saylor, Morris, and Gonzalez. But it's now 7-1 Hoppers. So Olson retired on the 4-6-3 double play. 2 outs in the inning for Manu, who was intentionally walked in the last inning and grounded out to the second baseman that brought home a run in the first. Swing and a miss. Manu going for the downs on that off-speed pitch, and the count 0-1.
The only thing I can figure is his relief pitcher's playing probably.
Well, could be.
So that's 7-1. That's we're only in the 4th inning. I mean the 3rd, bottom of the 3rd.
Next pitch to Manu, a changeup from Pittman, and he was going for the downs again, and the count 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes. Now the stretch. And the pitch by Pittman. Fastball in the dirt. But Pirtle won't try to come home and score as it was scooped up quickly by Edge. 1-2 the count. Now the stretch and the pitch by Pittman. Curveball, did he go? Yep, couldn't hold up the swing, and Manu is down on strikes for out number 3 in the inning. As a matter of fact, it's the first strikeout for Pittman in the ballgame. 4 runs in the inning for the Hoppers on a total of 5-6 base hits. No Owensboro errors and 1 runner left. The Hoppers have stranded 6, and after 3, it's the Hoppers 7. Owensboro 1. Hopper baseball continues in a minute on WHOP. Well, Jason McDonald has been staked now to a 7-1 lead as Matt Sissel, Jonathan Bernez, and Maldonado Gonzalez will bat in the 4th for the Owensboro Oilers.
You probably noticed this, but the last 4 batters in the Harper lineup scored those 4 runs at the time. The last 4 batters. That's always a good sign.
Sissel showing bunt on the first pitch. A fastball from McDonald 0-1. Sissel popped to the shortstop his first time. He's 1 for 8 on the year against Hopper pitching. Outfield straight away for the batter. Here's the pitch. A swing and a miss, and the count is 0-2. Jonathan Bernez waits on deck for the Owensboro Oilers, who trail here 7-1 in the top of the 4th. The pitch. And a ground ball bounced to the left side. Pirtle will charge it. He will field. He will throw, and that's out number 1. Sissel retired for the first out, and the batter will be Bernez, who was hit by a pitch his first time. Hopper Baseball brought to you in part by Southern Regional Open MRI. Visit Southern Regional Open MRI, 611 Hammond Plaza. Phone 885-1950 or visit their website at southernregionalopenmri.com. First pitch is a strike call to Bernays on the outside corner with a good fastball from Jason McDonald, 0-1. McDonald working quickly. Strike one pitch hit foul up the first base side. And the count now 0-2.
9 hits for the Hoppers, 2 hits by Owensboro. A lot of difference.
Tell you what, this is the first game, I think, that the Hopper Bats have just really been good as they are here tonight. Pitches the ball outside, 1-2 the count.
Good hitting or bad pitching, or a little bit of both.
1 ball, 2 strikes. 1 away in the inning. And the pitch is bounced to third. Fisher near the foul line on a couple of hops. On to Manu, 2 down. 2-out batter will be Gonzalez, who flied to the left fielder his first time. Tanaka. He's 3 for 9 on the year against Hopper pitching. And again, we welcome all of you listening worldwide, literally, at WHOPAM.com to our Hopper broadcast. We'll have all 20 Hopper home games and all playoff games, should conditions warrant, and we feel pretty good right now that they will. 2 down, nobody on for the Oilers as Gonzalez tries the bunt. He missed it, strike 1.
It was way outside. He bats left-handed, and he just couldn't even reach it. He flagged at it a little bit, but didn't get close to it.
1 strike and nothing with 2 outs. Here is the windup and the 0-1. Fastball is in the dirt. 1 ball and 1 strike to Gonzalez.
Oh,
And let there be light.
Let there be light, and there is light.
1-1 the count.
By the way, you did good on the radio a while ago. I hadn't heard that since you did it, whatever you did.
Swing and a miss, and the count 1-2. What did I do?
I don't know. We get a little...
Oh, that, yeah.
We get a little interference there, and you stopped it.
Well, you have to be somewhat engineer, somewhat ball caller
There you go.
sometimes.
There you
1-2
go.
is outside, 2-2. Well, one of our favorite folks has checked in. Mr. Higgins.
What's Mr. Higgins done?
He just says everything's sounding great on the airs tonight. We appreciate that as always. The 2-2 pitch, here it is. And just missed outside, and the string is out at 3-2 to Gonzalez.
Did you tell him I've called 2 names wrong already, and you're getting on me?
I'm being the taskmaster tonight. Come on, Ray Ray.
All right.
3-2 pitch, here it is. And Gonzalez reaches on a 2-out walk. That for Jason McDonald, his second walk of the ball game. And the hitter now will be Morris, who was the first batter to walk against McDonald back in the second inning. Uptown 7, Owensboro 1 with the Oilers batting here in the top of the 4th inning. In Ohio Valley League baseball action as the pitch is a ball inside.
I'm going to say we got a good crowd. A lot of people here.
I'd say we got close to 3.
I do, too. A lot of people were down the first base line on the fence.
Have not heard the official attendance figure yet. Here's the 1-0. And a pitch fouled back, and the count 1-1 to Morris.
See a couple of people I went to school with. They can still walk, still get around.
1 ball, 1 strike to Morris.
Smithsons. You know the Smithsons, don't you?
Yes, sir.
Got a few kids play at Hoptown, don't they?
They've got some pretty good kids that play at Hoptown.
Grandchildren.
Here's the 1-1 from McDonald, and Morris takes low and away, 2 balls and 1 strike.
You know, if I know them, they must have grandchildren, right?
Well, that was your comment, not mine. I ain't touching that with the 10-foot pole, buddy. Throw to first, and the runner back in safely. 2-1 the count. McDonald working out of a stretch. Checks the runner. Here's the pitch to Morris, and he lifts a fly ball in the left. Tanaka goes back a few steps, makes the catch, and that will end the 4th inning for the Owensboro Oilers. In the inning, no runs, no hits, no errors, a walk and a runner left. The Oilers have stranded 5, middle of the 4th with the score. The Hoppers 7, Owensboro 1. Hopper baseball back after this on WHOP.
Her staff has been very helpful to us. She has a team of decorators that will help you with all of your needs, your decorating needs. And they assist you with looking through catalogs to find exactly what it is you need. And that it is priceless to me.
Herb Hayes Furniture. Always the best.
Bottom of the fourth for the Hoppers, followed by Fernando Tanaka and Colin Massinelli. Hopper Baseball brought to you in part by Premier Details. For the best in interior and exterior auto details, see Kermit Rowe at Premier Details, 333 Sequoia Avenue, or call 498-8108. Well, here's Austin Pittman, and the first pitch is ball one to Clark. Clark reached on an error, flied to the left fielder back his last time up in the second inning. Clark is 1 for 6 on the year against Owensboro pitching, as that one misses high. That's about the second or third time we've seen that airplane come over the ball field tonight. 2 balls and no strikes to count to Clark. Here's a 2-0. Fastball missed high, and Clark ahead in the count. 3 balls and no strikes. Owensboro starting to get a little activity stirring in the bullpen as they have a right-hander up and loosening up down there. And here's the pitch hit foul, third base side. Up in the bullpen is Colton Slank. Remember, he pitched the last time that the Oilers were here. In a 9-3 loss, he took the loss in that game. 3-1 to count to Clark. Pittman kicks and deals. Low for ball 4, and Clark is aboard on a leadoff walk. The Hoppers have had the leadoff man aboard in every inning today. Second walk allowed by the pitcher Pittman. And here's Tanaka, who was hit by a pitch in the first, doubled to left and scored in the third. Hoppers lead 7-1 here in the bottom of the fourth inning. First pitch to Fernando, fouled off, strike one. 1 strike and nothing to Tanaka, who after starting out a bit slowly at the plate has really picked it up over the last few games. 1 strike and nothing. Pittman out of a stretch in the pitch, and Tanaka grounds one to third, knocked down by the third baseman. Here's the throw to first in time for the out to get Tanaka. As Rhodes throws him out, Clark moves on to second base. 1 away in the inning now for Massinelli, who singled to center and scored in the last inning, and he's lined to first, 1 for 2.
Well, let me tell you what that call is all about.
Yes, sir.
We got a few things straight here. Mr. Sheila Shelton called and give you some information right after this bat.
All right.
After this pitch. Got some information.
All right. I'd say Sheila is a wealth of knowledge, too.
He is, I'll guarantee you. He's pretty old, though, too.
Turn, and Pittman bluffs the throw to second. Nobody there that covered the bag as Clark gets back safely.
A guy named Bob Buell.
Yes, sir.
Pitch for Madisonville. Give you another big name right after this pitch.
The Madisonville Miners, they were known in the old days of the Kitty League.
Mm-hmm.
First pitch to Massinelli is a ball outside.
Would you believe Red Shane Deese played for Union City? I don't think he pitched. Played for Union City.
Yes, I knew that. Somehow I knew that. I think that's mentioned in Josh Maxwell's Kitty League book.
Ed Wright. I don't remember Ed Wright. Pitched for Boston, I think.
1-0 pitch, a little excuse-me swing, slowly hit to the right side. Second baseman Saylor comes up throwing. The ball is low. It caroms quickly off the fence back to Gonzalez. And Clark will move to third as Massinelli reaches on the error by Saylor. That's the second error he's had in this ball game. Here's Matt McGowan, who's had a pair of hits tonight.
Who made the error? I was listening to my message.
Second baseman E4.
E4.
Yes, sir.
Bad throw, wasn't it?
They say we have over 300 in the park tonight.
Good.
I've not been given an official number.
Played golf with Mr. Shelton today.
The commissioner of the infamous golf league.
That's right.
You guys don't have a name for that league, do you?
Well, we call him the boss.
Well, that's all that matters. First and third occupied with 1 out. Hoppers up 7-1 in the bottom of the fourth as McGowan takes the first pitch in the dirt, ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. Hoppers here in the friendly confines, 5-2 on the season. They're 4-2 away from Colonel Field.
McGowan got 2 hits. See if he get another one.
Stretched now by Pittman. His activity continues in the Owensboro bullpen. Now a turn and a throw to first, and the runner back in safely. Schlenk continues to throw down the left field line for the Oilers. Want to know the count to the batter, McGowan. Runner at first goes, and McGowan lifts a soft liner. That's going to fall in for a base hit.
Get back.
And a throw to second is not going to be in time as a run scores to make it 8-1. Well, what Massinelli thought was going to happen, he thought the ball was going to get caught, but the second baseman, Saylor, had cheated way over toward the bag, and that was one of them hit it where it wasn't. Or as Wee Willie Keeter used to say, hit it where it ain't.
Massinelli started to hit back to first real fast. He didn't realize it had already hit the ground. He took off. He'd have been out if it had been a bad throw. He'd have been out a second.
10 hits now for the Hoppers, who lead 8-1. 1 out as Brown comes up. He had a bunt single his last time up and scored. Swings and misses on the first strike one, and he's been hit by a pitch. 0 for 1 in this game. Now the Hoppers were playing a little hit and run there, and Massinelli for a moment thought he was in a bit of trouble. Here's a bouncing ball. Shortstop dive, steps on the bag at second one. Throw to first in time for the double play. Morris and Gonzalez turn it. And that will end the inning for the Hoppers as McGowan out 6 unassisted at second base. 1 run for the Hoppers in the inning, though. 1 run on 1 hit, 1 Owensboro error, and 1 man left on base. Hoppers have stranded 7, and after 4, it's the Hoppers 8. And Owensboro 1. Hopper baseball continues in just a minute on WHOP. Well, Jason McDonald has another run to work with. Hoppers lead 8-1 as we go to the 5th. Taylor Matthews, Jordan Rhodes, and Austin Edge will be the batters for the Owensboro Oilers. Hopper Baseball brought to you in part by Johnson's Auto Salvage. Call them for all your salvage needs, auto parts, foreign and domestic. 270-632-4022 or visit 3110 Russellville Road just past Western Hills Golf Course in Hopkinsville. Here's Matthews to lead it off, and he takes the first pitch for a called strike. Matthews had an RBI his last time up when he was walked, has flied to center. And he lifts the 1-0 pitch in the air to left center where Tanaka is waiting, and that's out number 1.
Well, these outfielders are playing just right. They're sure hitting them right to them.
Matthews now 0 for 6 against Hopper pitching this season, and here's Jordan Rhodes. Rhodes has struck out and had a fielder's choice.
I believe he's Dusty Rhodes' grandson. I'm just kidding.
I was going to say, wait a minute now.
I know too much, don't I?
What you know that I don't know there, Wichita. 8-1, Hoppers lead top of the 5th, and McDonald's first pitch jams him, but it's hit high in the air to center as Rhodes retired as Brown makes the catch, 2 down.
That's 2 pretty quick outs.
Here's Austin Edge, who singled to right, has popped out to the right fielder. Edge is 2 for 10 on the year against Hopper pitching. Remember, the Hoppers are home tomorrow night to Marion at 7:05. Our exclusive Hopper pregame show at 6:50. Hopkinsville Community College night tomorrow night as the first pitch misses outside, ball 1. And again, if you bring school supplies with you, you can get yourself a half-price ticket. Kyle Barbie heading down to the bullpen to loosen up. McDonald may go another inning or so, or maybe on a pitch count. 2-0 the count to Edge. 2 balls, no strikes to count.
Could be getting ready just to go in the game, too, but I see a catcher, so you're probably right. He's probably going down there to warm up to come in, relieve a little bit.
Barbie has pitched a little bit during the course of the year as the pitch is a called strike to Edge, 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike. 2 outs, nobody on for Owensboro here in the top of the 5th inning. The pitch, and that's a little bit low from McDonald. The count now 3-1 to Edge. 3-1 to count the pitch. And that's ball 4, and Edge reaches on a walk. That is the third walk allowed by McDonald in the game. And the hitter now will be Saylor, who's flied to right and grounded to second, 0 for 2. Now let's check the big league scoreboard here while we have a couple of moments. Some games are getting updated now as the pitch hit in the air to center. Back
long way. He better run
He's
hard.
Still going back.
He caught
Makes
it.
a catch. What a catch by Brown. With his back to the infield, he reached up and caught it. Put a red star by that play, and that will end the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and a man left for Owensboro. They have stranded 6 through 4.5. Your score, the Hoppers 8, Owensboro 1. Back in a minute. This is Hoppers Baseball on WHOP.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds.
Right-hander Colton Slank is a new pitcher for Owensboro here. He's out of Shelby Township, Michigan, played at Kentucky Wesleyan last season. Slank has 1 save on the season, has allowed 7 hits, 6 runs, 5 earned, has walked 5, struck out 6 in 7 innings pitched. He's 1-1 on the year with an ERA of 6.43. Slank took the loss when Owensboro lost here 9-3. Back recently, he pitched 2 innings, 2 hits, 3 runs, all earned, with a walk and a strikeout in that game. And that game came back on the 9th of this month. Slank was one of 4 pitchers employed in that ball game.
Just to make Brown's catch look a little bit better, in Christian County, if you've never been here, the outfield, center field's a little incline. It goes up a little bit. He was running hard a little bit uphill, and he just barely caught to it, but it was a high fly, but it was deep. Good catch.
Austin Pittman went 4 innings, allowed 10 hits, 8 runs. And I believe, with the exception of maybe 1, all of them were earned in this game.
They did have 3 errors on him, though.
Here's Pirtle, who's 2 for 3 to lead it off. And he takes the first offering from Slank for a ball, and the count now 1 ball and no strikes.
The old slow curve first pitch.
1 strikeout and 2 walks for Pittman in his 4 innings of work tonight. And the pitch is a strike to Pirtle, and the count evens 1-1. Pirtle, Fisher, and Olson to bat here in the bottom of the 5th for the Hoppers. 1 ball, 1 strike, nobody out. The kick and the pitch, and it's a bit outside. 2 balls and 1 strike to Pirtle.
That wasn't a very good pitch.
Two balls, 1 strike, nobody out. Now the pause in the pitch, fouled back to the screen. 2-2 now to Brett Pirtle.
Is infield chatter a dead thing now? I don't hear them chattering, and used to years ago everybody had to chatter, but it's pretty quiet now.
Hey, batter, swing.
There you
we
go.
used to do that in Little League many years ago.
Yeah, we did that. I had to do it. Coach would get on you if he wasn't chattering.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Slank checks in with Edge for a sign. Now they'll get together halfway between the mound and the plate and discuss their situation here.
Catcher didn't understand it. Well, the catcher had the right sign. The pitcher didn't understand what sign he was giving him, and so he's going to talk about it and make sure he gets that sign correct.
Hopper Baseball brought to you in part by Mr. Mulch. For all your mulch and other landscaping needs, visit Mr. Mulch, 2105 Madisonville Road, or call 885-1979.
If you're waiting for a curveball and get a fastball, you can be in trouble as a catcher sometimes.
2-2 pitch to Pirtle, and that was a curveball. Bounced through the right side for a base hit. So Pirtle with his 3rd hit and 4 at-bats tonight. And the batter now will be Nolan Fisher, who's 2 for 3. Major League scoreboard in the bottom of the 9th. Texas leads San Diego 4-2. Middle of the 8th. Cleveland leads the Reds 8-1. Top of the 8th, Phillies and the Rockies are tied at 5. Bottom of the 8th, Minnesota leads Pittsburgh 2-1. Cardinals lead the Tigers 3-1. Top of the 9th. Nationals lead the Rays 3-2. Bottom of the 8th. Slank delivers, and the first pitch is low for a ball. Throw down to first and the runner back. Metropolitans lead Baltimore 4-2. Top of the 8th. Red Sox over the Miami Marlins 13-4. In the top of the 6th, bottom of the 4th, White Sox 2.
That's close.
And again, a throw to first, and it was a close play in the runner back.
First baseman thought he had him.
Dodgers, A's, Giants, Angels a little later. Braves over the Yankees 10-5. KC beat Houston 2-1. Milwaukee over Toronto 8-3 as that pitch is popped foul down the third base line. And it was the Diamondbacks over the Mariners 14-10.
Now, do you think everybody's going to know who the Metropolitans are, or just me and you?
I think most people would figure out they were the New York Mets.
Oh, okay. I guess you're right. Especially Sheila Shelton, right?
Yes, sir. 1-1 to count. Here's a pitch hit foul at the plate, and that got a piece of Fisher in the count 1-2.
He was swinging pretty hard. He was going to try to hit it over the fence.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Fisher with Cameron Olson on deck. Hoptown has scored in every inning. 2 in the first, 1 in the second, 4 in the third, 1 in the fourth. And lead here 8-1, batting in the bottom of the 5th inning. Slank out of a stretch. He'll check Pirtle at first. And the pitch to Fisher's a little low. And Fisher, or rather Pirtle, almost got caught napping a little too far, but he got back to the bag. 2-2 now to Fisher.
He was leaning a little bit towards second when he was trying to get back to first.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Nobody out here in the bottom of the 5th inning.
Oh, he's got a good lead.
Pirtle might be going on this pitch. We'll see. Slank out of a stretch delivers, and that one in the dirt. Throw down to first again, and back into the bag safely.
They're seriously trying to get him out, aren't they? Catcher's throwing down there, pitcher's throwing, and they've had 2 close plays, too.
Well, reason being, Pirtle's a pretty good stolen base man. He has 6 on the season for the Hoppers.
Pretty fast.
A 3-2 pitch, but first a throw to first and the runner back.
Just stand there, Pirtle. Don't get off anymore.
Just get your lead. Don't get caught too far.
That's right.
He's got a pretty good lead again.
He does.
Slank delivers a 3-2, and that's going to hit Fisher. And he'll go down to first base.
Well, got a few hit batsmen tonight.
That's the first one allowed by Slank. After Pittman had 2 earlier in the game. And the batter now is Olson, who's grounded out 3 times, including a double play his last time up back in the 3rd inning. So first and second occupied with nobody out. Hoppers leading 8-1. Here's a check at a pitch. Strike on the outside corner to Olson, and the count 0-1.
You don't ever quit and need to get runs. Look at that Arizona-Seattle game today, 14-10. That's a lot of runs. I was listening to a little bit of that game.
1 strike and nothing. Now the pause by Slank. He'll look the runners back. Did you listen to the Arizona or the Seattle feed?
The Arizona feed. I just had the XM on real quick. I usually listen to WHOP, but I just have to turn the ball game on.
Here's an 0-1 pitch high, 1 ball, 1 strike. I want to do that one of these nights before long when we don't have an off night. Listen to my man Milo Hamilton if Houston's at home. The 1-1. Low and away, 2 balls and 1 strike.
And I told you one time, anytime I got a chance to listen to Vince Scully, I'm going to listen to Vince Scully. That's
Absolutely.
For sure. I think he is the number 1.
Funny you mentioned that. As Slank ready for a 2-1 pitch, and that ball's drilled in the air to right, but going foul 2-2. One of these broadcaster websites I'm on for sports, we were talking the other day about the top 10 baseball announcers of all time. Scully is 1. Jack Buck is 2 on my list. Red Barber 3. Mel Allen 4.
Oh, Mel Allen, great.
Marty Brenneman, number 5.
Where's Milo?
As the pitch is a curve inside 3-2. Milo is number 5. I'm sorry.
Okay, I was going to think you got him up pretty high.
Marty Brenneman is 6. Harry Callis The late Phillies announcer 7, and I don't remember 8, 9, and 10. Honestly,
You're far enough.
well, Harry Carey was in that
That's
10
right.
list. Here's
That's
a pitch popped up on the infield left
gonna
side.
fall.
This
It's
ball
gonna fall.
might have a chance to drop, and it does. And late breaking for third is Pirtle, but he's going to be in there on a high bloop single by Cameron Olson.
Oh, that ball should have been caught. 2 guys, left field and third baseman. Golly, they should have caught that ball. No, Buckner should have caught it. Rhodes should have caught it. Somebody should have caught that ball. I don't know. Are they going to give him a hit? I guess so. Nobody touched it, did they?
Nope.
You can still call an error, but usually you
Well, it
don't.
would be more of a mental error, I think, as much as anything, because you know one of them should have, as you said, called
They
it.
should have called it. M.E., mental error.
Well, here's Manu now with a chance to deliver big. He's 0 for 2 with a walk. Phillip 4 for 14 against Owensboro pitching on the season. Infield up all the way around, and Manu was going for the downs there. Swings and misses on the high heat, 0-1.
I guess if I was going to give an E on that, it'd be 5.
One out in the inning, or nobody out in the inning, rather. 1 strike to Manu, and the base is loaded for the Hoppers. They've scored in every inning, lead 8-1. Manu lifts a fly ball in the air to left. This one might drop. Nope, left fielder's going to get there and catch it. Nice catch by Buckner. Runner at third tags and scores. It's 9-1. So the streak continues as Pirtle comes home to score. And Manu will get credit for a sac fly and a run batted in.
Boy, the Hoppers are hitting that ball tonight. Everything's going their way. I don't know. 12 hits, that's still a bunch of hits.
That's a lot of hits.
In 5 innings, winner.
Yep.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, of those 12 hits, you've got 2 infield hits among the 12. Owensboro now appealing that Pirtle might have left a little early, but that's to no avail. Don Gilmore said he did it properly.
I don't blame him. Good try, but no good.
Here's Clark, who is 0 for 2, and he takes the first pitch ball low, 1-0.
2-1-4-1-1. That's a lot of scoring.
And if you were playing cards and you had 3 aces, that'd be a pretty good hand.
That would be.
1-0 the count. The pitch by Slank fouled back. And the count 1-1 to Bobby Clark.
I think the Hoppers are going up there to swing hard and try to hit it. That's what they're trying to do right now. They're not easing back at all. They're not going to try to stop quick anytime soon.
Good crowd here tonight.
It is.
Hoppers have been averaging in the upper 200s for the season for every game at home this year. Here's the 1-1, and Clark skies one high in the air on the infield. Shortstop Morris says he'll take it. He does, and that's out number 2.
Infield fly rule?
Yes, sir. 2 down for Tanaka, who was hit by a pitch in the first, doubled and scored in the third, grounded to third. In the fourth, he's 1 for 2.
Infield fly rule. Players can advance if they want to, but the batter is out.
That's correct. Hoppers 9, Owensboro Oilers 1 as we play here in the bottom of the 5th with 2 outs and runners at first and second for the Hoppers. Actually, we got a pinch hitter here for Tanaka. It'll be Friedline, Rob Friedline, that will pinch hit, and he takes a strike.
Strike 1.
Friedline hitting at 200 on the year. No homers, 2 runs batted in.
Gilmore's making some funny sounds at our umpiring.
And the pitch is a ball. Count 1-1 to Friedline.
He's trying to entertain the fans down there. They're laughing at him. I'd had him with him.
Friedline is 1 for 8 on the year against Owensboro pitching. He's out of St. Charles, Missouri, and plays in Alabama Huntsville. First and second occupied by Hoppers, and now Slank and the catcher Edge will get together and have yet another conference. They were mixed up on the signs. Now, the Hoppers have had some activity in their bullpen. Kyle Barbie was up throwing a little earlier. McDonald doing some light tossing here just to kind of keep his arm loose on this warm night.
Looks like they may have some position players going to change positions here.
I'd say Tanaka will either move somewhere or Friedline will come in and play left field, but we'll see. 1-1 strike on the inside corner to Rob, and the count now 1-2.
They're probably over there saying, let's get in on this batting practice.
1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 down. Runners first and second for the Hoppers. Slank delivers. Hit
him in the neck just about. Wow.
Sure did.
He's walking to first, though, or running to first.
Friedline, the second hit batsman of the inning. The bases are loaded up again for the Hoppers. And here's Massanelli. Line to first, single to center and scored and reached on an error.
Okay, we got that guy's at third, that guy's at second, and that guy's at first. So I got these right.
You got them right, big boy.
Right, big boy.
Attaboy. All right, here's Massanelli now. Ready to stand in. With the bases loaded. And the first pitch is fouled back, strike 1 to Massanelli. Hoppers got the scoring started for early. 2 in the first. Owensboro got a run back in the second. Hoppers scored a run to make it 3-1 after 2. 4 in the third, 7-1, 8-1 after 4, 9-1 here in the fifth. And the base is loaded with 2 outs. Massanelli takes a pitch low and away. 1 ball and 1 strike. One ball, 1 strike, 2 outs.
Massanelli bats left-handed, trying to pull it.
Now the pitch popped up, third base side, and that's going to be back out of play. And the count now 1-2 to Massanelli. After tomorrow's home game, the Hoppers won't be here for a while. They'll go to Fulton Saturday or Friday, Madisonville Saturday, play at Marion Sunday. And after a off day Monday, are here next Tuesday night to play Madisonville. The 1-2 pitch, fouled back again. Stays 1-2. On the 26th, the Hoppers will be home. They'll be home the 27th against Fulton. Go to Owensboro the 28th, off on the 29th, play at Owensboro on the 30th, and have Marion here on July 1st for a 2:05 start. The 1-2 pitch. Massanelli laid off a breaking ball. It stayed high, 2-2.
When's the last game of the season?
The last regular season game at home will be on the 17th of July. The Hoppers' last regular season game's the 21st at Marion before the playoffs start.
So they're getting a month away from the last game here. This has been going pretty good, though.
Absolutely.
I'm going to say it's going great.
The 2-2 pitch. And Massanelli skies one in the air, left field side, foul ground. Nobody will get it. 2-2 the count. Now, everybody gets to play in the playoffs. The number 4 and number 5 team will play a 1-game elimination game on the 24th of July. And then whoever's the number 1 team will open a best-of-3 series against the 4-5 winner while 2 plays 3. And then after that, starting on the 28th, you've got the 2 winners of the playoff series playing for the championship in a best 2 out of 3.
Well, I'll have to tell Rachel I can't make that wedding. I'll have to be out here, right?
I think you'd be in a little trouble, Ray.
I think I'd be in a little trouble.
I'd say you'd be in major trouble.
Major trouble.
Here's a 2-2, and Massanelli strikes out swinging on a high breaking ball to end the inning. First strikeout of the night for Slank, and that'll end it, but the Hoppers get a run. 1 run on 1-2 base hits. There were no Owensboro errors and 3 left. Hoppers have stranded 10, and after 5 from Colonel Fields, your score, the Hoppers 9, Owensboro 1. We return to the Applebee's broadcast booth in a minute on WHOP.
Her staff has been very helpful to us. She has a team of decorators that will help you with all of your needs, your decorating needs. And they assist you with looking through catalogs to find exactly what it is you need. And that it is priceless to me.
Herb Hayes Furniture, always the best.
Well, Ray, you called it kind of perfect here. The Hoppers making several defensive changes as we had to chase a dog off the field here between innings.
They're hauling the dog off.
Philip Manu, the guy to go chase that dog down. Atta boy. We've got Matt McGowan now playing shortstop for the Hoppers here in the 6th inning.
Look at him.
Atta boy, Philip. Good job.
He's doing his cow. Like I did a good job getting that dog off the field.
All right, here's Colin Buckner to lead things off here in the 6th for Owensboro as we catch up on all the defensive changes. And a high pop-up in the left field, and it will be caught. And that is the first out of the inning. That may be Friedline, and it is. Friedline is the new left fielder. One away. And the batter now will be Sissel, who's 0 for 2. So you got Friedline now playing in left field. And Mazzella at first, and we'll see who's at second. Hurdle may have moved over there. Pitches a ball low, 1-0. The umpires don't always point and tell us the changes.
Who's on first?
That's Tony Mazzella. His mom listening up in the New York City area, Wantagh, New York.
That's my
Queens
Abbott
College.
Costello theme right there. Who's on first?
Who's on first?
Who's
I don't
on
know.
first?
What's on second? I don't know. Third. 9-1 Hoppers in the 6th. The pitch. And a ground ball hit deep in the hole. It's short. McGowan can't make the play, and everybody's safe.
So McGowan is at shortstop.
Yes, sir.
There's nothing but a base hit right there.
Well, we'll see how it's officially scored. Well, it is scored as a base hit, as a matter of fact.
Even if he'd have caught it, it'd been hard to throw him out in deep short.
Third hit of the night for Owensboro off Jason McDonald, and the batter now will be Brunez, who has been hit by a pitch and grounded to third. First pitch hit foul, first base side, strike one. All right, you got Seth Bancroft playing second base now for the Hoppers, replacing McGowan. Brett Pirtle's night is done. We'll see how this changes the batting order when the Hoppers come to bat in the bottom of the 6th. Here's the strike one pitch, high and outside, 1-1. Actually, Friedline will take Tanaka's spot.
And McGowan's still going to bat first. And
McGowan will still bat in his spot in the 8 hole. Here's the pitch, strike, throw to second, not in time, and a stolen base.
You know, that's not exactly good baseball with a 9. You're behind 9-1, and you're trying to steal second base, and it was a fairly close play.
Sissel with his first stolen base of the year.
Only thing is you keep the double play out. So
Mazzella will bat in the 4 spot, vacated by Manu, and Bancroft will move to the top of the order and bat in the spot vacated by Pirtle. Pitches swung on and missed, and the count now is 1-2 strikes.
Catcher got a little bit disturbed about something that time. He was standing wrong or something. Umpire.
2-2 the count, and Don Gilmore now goes out to talk to Jason McDonald, and he gets a new baseball out of the deal.
You don't walk all the way out to the pitcher very often, the umpire, does he?
No. They may have wanted to check that baseball for something.
Sure wasn't a spitter.
Yeah. A la Gaylord Perry.
There you go.
And did you see last night where the pitcher from Tampa got ejected for too much pine tar on his glove?
Oh, I heard him talking about this morning.
Yeah.
I don't know what they were talking about.
2-2 pitch, here it is. Swing and a miss on a high fastball, and Brunez is down.
One of those call-in programs, they were saying, what is too much pine? How much is too much is what they were. I didn't know what they were. I thought they were talking about a bat.
Nope, it was a glove.
A glove, oh.
2 down now for Gonzalez, who walked his last time up and is flying to left. He's 0 for 1.
Looks like pine tar would make it stick to your hand more.
Well, maybe that's what it was. Of course, we all remember the infamous pine tar game in New York many years ago with George Brett.
Right.
2 outs and a runner at second. Gonzalez was going for the downs, and he came up empty, 0-1.
I believe what we ought to do sometime is give the answer to the sports quiz on our show to our ball game, and then tomorrow see who listens. See.
Well, you know, that might be a good idea.
So here's the answer. See who's going to get it in the morning.
Here's the 0-1, and Gonzalez lifts one in the air to left. Friedline to his right, makes the catch, and that will end the inning for Owensboro in the 6th. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left. The Oilers have stranded 7. We go to the bottom of the 6th with a score. Hoppers 9 and Owensboro 1. Hopper baseball continues in just a minute on WHOP. Municipal Stadium, the old mistake by the lake.
82,000 in 1948.
48, but here's a little interesting fact as the 2-1 comes to Brown. Strike call 2-2. In 1954, the year that they won the World Series, or were in the World Series rather, they broke that record. They had 2.6 million fans for the season in 48.
And the fans had to come a long way because there wasn't that many people in Cleveland.
2-2 pitch, fouled back 2-2.
82,000. That's a lot of people.
And if I remember the story correct, there was a time before they moved the fences back at the old Municipal Stadium that fans actually sat on the grass in the outfield behind the fence.
Was that the old Vic Wirtz, Willie Mays catch? 54?
54, yep. Here's a 2-2, and Brown pops it up first base side.
Good
and
catch.
Going to be
No, he
dropped.
dropped it.
Gonzalez could not make the play, and the count stays 2-2.
That'd be an E3 right there.
It would have been.
Yep. But I'll tell you what, that was a lot of people in that day and time.
Yes, it was. Again, we want to welcome all of our out-of-town listeners on WHOPAM.com. A lot of the parents listening tonight all around the country. We're glad you all are listening in. Here's Colton Slank with a 2-2 to Brown, and he strikes out swinging on a fastball. That's the second strikeout for Slank in the game. 2 down, and for the first time tonight, we'll see Seth Bancroft come to the plate. Bancroft hitting at .235, no homers, no runs batted in. Bancroft is out of Swanee, Georgia, and Georgia College and State University. Matter of fact, he has played 1 game against Owensboro this year and went 0 for 5. That was actually on Monday night. Here's Slank's first pitch, and Bancroft takes the ball low. So Pirtle finishes the night 3 for 4 and scored a couple of runs, and he also drove in a run in the game.
Out of all the other states, I've heard California, Texas, and New York, and a lot of other states too.
Brazil, Missouri.
That's right, Brazil.
Here's a ground ball down the line at first, and it hops by the first baseman down into the right field corner. Bancroft will make the turn at first as the ball is still going. Bancroft's going to try to get himself a stand-up triple, and he does.
Easy.
Holy Toledo, what a great piece of hitting by Bancroft. That's his first triple of the year and the second 3-bagger in this game for the Hoppers.
And it just went over the first base in the fair territory, and it went all the way to the bullpen.
So Bancroft joins Pirtle, who both have had triples in this game tonight, and here's Nolan Fisher.
Don't see 2 triples in a game very often.
Nope. Fisher is 2 for 3 with a hit batsman. And do you know of the 4 hits you have to get in the cycle, the triple is the toughest one to get.
Right.
I saw a cycle one night in Kansas City many years ago when Dave Winfield played for the California Angels. That would have been about, 92, 93. Fastball strike at the knees to Fisher in the count 0-1.
Hall of Fame Dave Winfield.
Yes, sir. Who was actually a pretty darn good basketball player in his own right, too, at the University of Minnesota.
Had a little trouble one night.
Yep. Here's the 0-1, and Fisher skies one in the air to left.
It may be.
Buckner going back away.
It is.
Back, and it's
It's
gone.
our first of the night.
The first Hopper home run of the season as Nolan Fisher will touch them all, at least here in this park. And it's the first of the year for the Hoppers, who now lead this game 11-1.
That went over the left field fence about 10 feet, 8 or 10 feet. We thought he was going to catch it, but it was a little bit too far. I could tell it was hit. We both could tell it was hit a long way.
So Fisher with the first long ball for the Hoppers this season. He has 4 RBIs in the game. He now has 7 on the year, and the Hoppers lead 11-1. They've out-hit Owensboro 13-3.
If family's listening, I'd like to tell them how far it was hit, but we don't have any signs out there. I thought say 340, 350.
It was hit a pretty good piece.
Yep.
Here's the first pitch to Olson, and Cameron takes a strike. And all this scoring barrage has happened since the first 2 batters, McGowan and Brown, were retired. Bancroft tripled down the right field line and then scored on the home run by Fisher. Here's the 0-1, curve inside corner, strike 2 to Olson.
With 2 outs also. 13 hits now.
Tony Mazzella waits on deck for the Hoppers. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Fastball line. Base hit to left field. An opposite field single by Olson. That's the 14th hit for the Hoppers in the game. Olson's now 2 for 5, and here's Mazzella coming up for the first time.
The bats are alive by the Hoppers tonight.
Mazzella hitting at 152. No home runs and 3 runs batted in for the Queens College player out of Wantagh, New York.
I like what you said. First of the year, we love to hear those wooden bats.
Absolutely.
Sounds really good.
So here's Mazzella, right-hand batter. And swing and a miss on the first pitch. He chased an off-speed pitch, strike 1. And his mom is listening up in New York tonight.
She is.
Miss Donna.
Good.
Throw over to first and the runner back. And thank you, Miss Mazzella, for the kind words that you sent our way yesterday as well. 1 strike and nothing with 2 outs. Pitches a ball, throw down to first and the runner back. Found out in getting that message from her that she has nephews that play in the Coastal Plains League, which is a league like this, and the Frontier League, which is some independent teams.
Baseball family, I guess.
Yes, it is. 1 ball and 1 strike. Here's the pitch. Fastball strike on the outside corner, and the count 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs and 1 on. Hoppers lead here 11-1 in the bottom of the 6th. Here's the stretch by Slank in the pitch, and a curveball hit up the line, foul at first base, and the count stays 1-2 to Mazzella.
Well, you remember me talking early in the game about a home run tonight and all that. I got that right,
Well,
too.
I'll tell you what, you're good.
I'm 1 for 7.
You're 1 for 7.
No, I just messed up a couple times. It won't be my first, won't be my last.
I was just fixing to say it won't be your last.
No, we're having fun. That's all that counts. Is that what they say?
That's right. 1-2, the count to the batter, Mazzella. Slank in relief of Pittman, who went the first 4 and got chased. The stretch by Slank, check of the runner at first, the pitch, and Mazzella fouls off another. He's hanging tough. I do understand, and Fitty Knopfsinger talked about this when she was here Saturday night when Tony played. They're going to make pizza, Chicago style and New York style, to see which is the best.
Where?
I don't know yet. I don't know if they've got it all worked out.
I want an invitation.
Absolutely. The 1-2 pitch. Mazzella takes strike 3 call on the outside corner. Slank with his 3rd strikeout, and that will end the inning for the Hoppers, but it's productive again. 2 runs on 3 hits, no errors, a man left. Hoppers have stranded 11. We go to the 7th, and after 6, it's the Hoppers 11 and Owensboro 1. Hoppers baseball continues in just a minute on WHOP. Right-hander Kyle Barbie, the new pitcher for the Hoppers here in the 7th. No record on the season. He's allowed 2 hits, walked 3, struck out 4, no earned runs, an ERA of 0, and 2 2/3 innings pitched. The home run for the Hoppers was the first here in this park, but the second one that the Hoppers have hit this season. The other came early in the season by Jim Nelson in a game on the road down at Fulton. Remember, Nelson left the team last week after suffering a hand injury, but he did hit a home run early in the year for the Hoppers.
Now, what's the hometown of this kid, Barbie?
Hopkinsville,
Hopkinsville,
KY.
KY. Played at UH.
I see his granddaddy sitting over there.
I see his mom and
his
daddy
dad,
over there.
yep.
I see his mama, daddy. I don't. His mom, I bet she's over there. I bet
I'm
she's
sure Miss Veronica's over there.
Veronica's there too.
Here's Brandon Morris to lead off the 7th. He fouls the first pitch for a strike. Morris is 0 for 1 with a walk, flied to left in his only other at bat.
I don't know whether these other teams that have a lot of local kids or not. I heard that Fulton City had a lot of Murray people. So
there's some Owensboro kids on this roster as the pitch lifted in the air to left field, and that's a base hit for Morris, who's now 1 for 2 in the game.
Well, I hope they do.
And the hitter now will be Taylor Matthews. Matthews has flied to center and was hit by, or actually walked back in the second, and flied to left. He's 0 for 2. Hoppers lead 11-1 as we start things here in the 7th, and the pitches are called strike, and the count 0-1 to Matthews.
Right on the outside corner, great pitch.
Next pitch is a ball, and the count 1-1. Here's an interesting stat for you about Owensboro, though it's not going to happen tonight. They have already played 5 extra inning games this year as the pitches are strike 1 and 2, and they are 1 and 4 in that department. They've played 6 one-run games, and they're 2 and 4, but that's not going to happen here tonight. More than likely. Here's a 1-2 lifted in the air to center, and Caleb Brown is right there under it, and that's out number 1. One-out batter will be Jordan Rhodes, who was called out on strikes, hit into a fielder's choice, and flied to center. He's 0 for 3. Rhodes is 3 for 10 on the year against Hopper pitching. Rhodes, left-hand batter, standing in. Here's a check and the first pitch to him from Barbie. In for a called strike on a beauty of a pitch.
It sure was. What a curveball.
Jason McDonald went 6 innings tonight as that ball's lifted in the air to center. Brown another opportunity, and that's 2 down. And the batter coming up will be Edge. McDonald allowed 3 hits, 1 run. He struck out 3 in the ball game, and he walked 3. And here's Edge now, 1 for 2 with a walk, and he lifts the first pitch in the air to right where Massinelli is there. And that will end the inning for Owensboro. No runs on a hit, no errors, 1 left. Owensboro stranded 8. It's time to take the 7th inning stretch. And it's stretch time. It's the Hoppers 11 and Owensboro 1. And now the 7th inning stretch is brought to you by the good folks at Music Central. Go see Ben Higgins and the gang at Music Central.
Let's hear you good
Out
and
on
loud.
Scott.
0-1.
Here's Scott Colley.
2, 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I ever get back, 'cause it's root for the Hoppers. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game.
All right. For Music Central, that's the 7th inning stretch tonight. Hopper baseball continues in 30 seconds on WHOP. (11-1) Hoppers lead here in the bottom of the 7th. Slank is ready for the first one. Curveball. Misses high and away, ball 1.
Well, the fans are still here. I don't see any of them skedaddling yet.
Nope. Everybody enjoying a nice night here at the ballpark.
Isn't it nice?
Hoppers have out-hit the Oilers 14-4 as that fastball misses up and in. 2 balls and no strikes.
Oilers got 4 errors. That hadn't helped their cause at all.
Couple of more finals in baseball now. Texas over San Diego 4-2. Cleveland beat the Reds 8-1. Twins over the Pirates 2-1. St. Louis beat Detroit 3-1. And here's a pitch hit foul at third base by Clark, and the count now 2 balls and 1 strike. They're in the bottom of the 9th. Rockies lead the Phillies 6-5. Mets over the Orioles 4-3 in the top of the 9th. Boston leads Miami 13-5, bottom of the 8th. White Sox over the Cubs 6-0, bottom of the 6th. Dodgers and A's, Giants and Angels about to get underway. 2 balls, 1 strike to Clark. Slank's next pitch is a good curve over, and the count 2-2.
Well, Randy McCoy is here tonight, I see.
Yes, sir. It was good to have him visit with us the other night.
Yep.
The outgoing University Heights Academy basketball coach. They're going to have a reception for him tomorrow. Here's a 2-2 pitch. Bounce to the left side. Handcuffed the third baseman a little bit. Shortstop Morris played it in the hole near the foul line, and we'll see how it's scored.
Oh, that's a hit.
And it will be an infield hit for Mr. Clark, his first hit of the night. And here's Friedline, who came on as a pinch hitter in the 5th inning and was hit by a pitch, rather.
Let's see. Yeah, they've scored every inning. Let's see about this one. See about the 7th.
Talked about Coach McCoy earlier. They're going to have a reception for he and his wife at University Heights tomorrow from 5 to 7. And Friedline sends a 1-bouncer to the shortstop. Second 1, and that's all they'll get as Morris goes to Saylor for the force out of Clark for the first out of the inning. And Friedline aboard on a fielder's choice, and the batter now will be Massinelli. Collins had a pretty good night. Singled and scored in the 3rd. He also drove in a run as line to first, reached on an error, and struck out 1 for 4. Hoptown 11, Owensboro 1 here in the bottom of the 7th. Here's the pitch, and it's inside for ball 1.
I know you know this. What is Owensboro's record now?
Owensboro's record at the moment is 5-9. They're 4.5 games back.
4.5 games out.
Marion trying to inch a bit closer to the Hoppers. They trail by a half game going into a game tonight at Fulton. Here's a ball driven high in the air to right, and under it to make the catch is Sissel for the second out of the inning as Friedline retreats to first, and the batter now will be Matt McGowan. McGowan's had 3 singles and flied to center. He's 3 for 4.
Yeah, Mr. McGowan has had a pretty good game.
Yes, he has. Going to go to the league website to see if they might have on a fluke put the score up yet, or at least a partial score for Fulton and Marion, who are playing tonight. Nope, they just say game summary pending on this one. 11-1 Hoppers in the bottom of the 7th, and the pitch is a ball, and the throw down to first, and back to the bag safely is Friedline.
Edge throws to first a whole lot. He tries to pick them off.
Next pitch is a ball, and the count now 2 balls and no strikes. Friedline has 3 stolen bases on the year. The count is 2-0 to McGowan, who came on as the Hopper shortstop in the 6th inning. Here's a 2-0, popped up first base side, and heads up over there. That bouncing around in the seats. And the count 2-1 to McGowan.
You wouldn't think with 11-1 lead you'd be trying to steal. That's sort of rubbing it in, but you never can have too many runs.
Two and one, the count now to Matt McGowan. The stretch by Slank and the 2-1. McGowan takes a strike at the knees, 2-2.
He thought it was a little bit low.
The 11 runs the Hoppers have scored tonight have matched their season high. They had 11 in the opening game at Fulton and winning 11-9. Deuces Wild on the board with Friedline at first, and McGowan takes a little chin music inside, and the string is out at 3-2.
Been an 0-2 count. You'd have thought they're throwing at him a little bit, but I don't think it. 2-1 count, 2-2 count they're throwing at him.
3-2 the count. Slank out of a stretch. He'll check the runner. Here he goes. Pitch is popped up. Gonzalez, the first baseman, says he has it.
Wow,
Whoa,
big
now it
game.
drops. And moving to third is going to be Friedline. That ball took a funky-looking spin in the air and spun away.
It was 5 feet behind him. He was looking up to catch it, and it went behind him and hit still on the grass, the infield grass.
Well, they're going to charge it an error
They
on
should.
the first baseman.
Should be. Nobody touched it, but that should have been caught.
So first and third for the Hoppers now. Caleb Brown comes to the plate. Brown's had an infield hit in 3 tries. He's been hit by a pitch also.
McGowan thought he probably wished he'd have got a hit out of that ball.
Pitch is high for a ball, and in a way, I'm almost a little inclined to agree with him.
Nobody touched it.
Nobody touched it.
What happened? I don't know.
1-0 the count.
But it should have been caught.
That's another one of them mental errors. Owensboro's made 5 errors in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Pitches are called strike to Brown, and the count evens up at a ball and a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 outs in the inning. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball misses low. 2-1 now to Caleb Brown. Well, if things hold up, Jason McDonald could get his 3rd win of the year. Runner at first, McGowan being looked back by Slank. He came on to pitch after Pittman went the first 4 for Owensboro.
I guess winning 5 or 6 games would be like winning 20, wouldn't it?
You got that right. Here's the 2-1 strike on the inside corner with a good fastball to Brown, 2-2. So another Deuces Wild count. McGowan got a hit on a 3-2 pitch. Clark got a hit on a 2-2 pitch. And let's see what Slank does with this one to Brown. Check the runners at first and third, and Brown pops it foul out of play. Stays 2-2. Remember, the Hoppers are home tomorrow night to play Marion, 7:05, his first pitch. On the air at 6:50. And it's Hopkinsville Community College night. Bring school supplies to donate for the Family Resource and Youth Services Center. The 2-2 to the plate. Brown fouls off yet another. 2-2 saves the count. Don Gilmore wanting a new set of baseballs, and he'll get them. Brad Sevenish will bring them up.
Matthews is playing mighty deep in center field. Up the middle.
Two balls, 2 strikes the count. Slank working out of a stretch. Checks the runners at first and third. Here's a check of the pitch, and it hit Brown. And he'll go to first base.
Second time he's been hit.
As a matter of fact, that is the third hit batsman of the night allowed by Slank, and the fifth by the Owensboro pitching staff. And here's Bancroft, who came on in the sixth inning. He had a triple to right field and then later scored on the home run by Fisher. 1 for 1. So the men in the top part of the order as the pitches a strike have gone 4 for 5 in this game.
With 2 outs, no one's holding anybody on. Everybody's getting a good lead.
Ducks on the pond, bases full of hoppers here. The 0-1, and Bancroft takes a curve for a strike, and the count 0-2.
Good pitch, good curveball.
No balls, 2 strikes.
Pitcher's advantage pitcher.
Outfield straight away. Here's the pitch. And Bancroft stays alive, fouls it off, 0-2. We've not heard the official attendance total, but it's right around 300.
Mr. Colley said he doesn't have it either.
Everything just a little out of sync tonight. We usually know that by now.
Sure do.
Stretched now by Slank. 0-2 to Bancroft. Curved, he let it go by. 1-2 the count. One ball, 2 strikes. Nolan Fisher waiting on deck for the Hoppers, who lead 11-1 here in the bottom of the 7th. The pitch by Slank. Curveball lifted in the air to short right center. And this ball's going to drop in for a hit. 1 run scores, 2 runs score. It'll be first and third as Friedline and McGowan come home to score. And the Hoppers lead here 13-1.
What that TS center fielder was doing, playing to the edges. Matthews was playing too deep. Couldn't get to that one.
Bancroft gets himself a couple of ribbies. And here's Fisher, who had a home run his last time up. The first home run hit out of Colonel Field by a Hopper this season. Fisher is 3 for 4 also. You got 2 or 3 candidates tonight for our Four Seasons Catering Player of the Game. And who knows, might just give it to all 3 of them. Actually, you got 4 if you count Jason McDonald, who had an outstanding pitching performance.
Count the pitcher, too. You're exactly right.
13-1, Hoppers lead here in the bottom of the 7th, and they have scored a run in every inning. 2-1-4, 1-1-2-2.
16 hits.
Here's the pitch, and Fisher takes ball 1 inside. I tell you what, if you were playing a card game and deuces were wild between your deuces and aces, man, you'd have yourself a great hand.
Yeah, he had him down 0-2 also.
1 ball and no strikes. 2 outs, runners at first and third for the Hoppers. 13-1. The OVL League leaders lead it here in the bottom of the 7th. Slank out of a stretch. The check of the pitch. And a strike, letter high fastball to Fisher, 1-1. Hey, if you're looking for somewhere to go after the game and grab a bite, go by Applebee's on Fort Campbell Boulevard. They've got half-price appetizers right now. Half-price select appetizers at Applebee's, Fort Campbell Boulevard. Pitches a ball low, 2-1. Ate there last night, Ray, and you know what I had again?
What'd you get?
I got that sizzling whiskey double-barrel steak.
We got.
Yes, sir. It was very good.
That sure was night. We got it.
2-1 the count to Fisher with 2 outs, the pitch. And Fisher corks one foul, third base side. 2-2 the count. Owensboro's got some activity stirring in their bullpen. As a right-hander is up and throwing. The 2-2 by Slank, and Fisher takes a change-up high, and the string is out at 3-2.
That was a pretty good pitch. He could have called it a strike or a ball. He was pretty close.
I tell you what, if somebody was looking at the scorecard tonight, it would be pretty messy.
It is.
But for good reason, as the Hoppers are up 13-1.
Every inning for the Hoppers has got a bunch of batters.
Here's the payoff pitch on 3-2, and Fisher called out on strikes. And that will do the Hoppers here in the 7th inning of play. 4 strikeouts now for Slank, but another productive inning, 2 runs on 1 base hit. And for Owensboro, they committed 1 error and 2 runners left. The Hoppers have stranded 13. We go to the 8th, and after 7, Hoppers 13, Owensboro 1. Hopper baseball back in just a minute on WHOP. Kyle Barbie on for his 2nd inning of work, as he'll face for Owensboro in the 8th, Saylor, Buckner, and Sissel. And Saylor will start it off. He is 0 for 3. And he takes the first pitch for a called strike. Count is 0-1. Who's your running buddy over there, Mr. Professional Analyst? Pitches fouled 0-2.
Mr. Convention Center is what we call him for short.
Put that headset on there, Mark. We'll talk to you a minute. Other way, Mark. There you go. Have to train you like I do Ray.
That's right. Well, my training's over.
That's right.
Till tonight.
And the curve is strike 3 called, and Saylor is out on strikes for the first out of the inning. Barbie with his first strikeout at Bruce Convention Center night here at the park. And Mark Stevens, who runs that facility, and a great baseball fan in his own right, is here with us this evening. Welcome.
Hey, thanks for having me on. You guys do a great job.
Thank you.
First pitch is bounced up the middle, and shortstop McGowan fields. Time. What a play, Matt McGowan.
We even say the same word. You hear that? What a play. We say it together. That was a great play.
Colin Buckner retired easily for the 2nd out, and the batter now Matt Sissel, who's had a hit in 3 tries.
What do you think about this, Mr. Stevens? You think the league's going pretty good?
I think the league is going great, and you know what? These crowds are tremendous. It's like I said to somebody earlier, it's a social event. It's like you need to be here.
Absolutely. Here's the first pitch from Barbie, strike on the inside corner. Well, the one good thing tonight is we haven't had to, come from behind or anything like that. It's been all Hoppers all through as the pitch is a ball 1-1.
You know, they might need to save some of these runs for a future game.
Boy, you're not kidding.
Well, might need them tomorrow night against Marion. 1-1, ground ball to short, slowly hit, but McGowan is there. He's got another opportunity. And a 1-2-3 inning in the 8th.
Good scoop by the first baseman, wasn't it?
Owensboro, yep. Mazzella did a great job to get that one out of the dirt. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th, and it's 13-1 in favor of the Hoppers.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds.
We got a new pitcher for Owensboro, and we think it's Jay Hackmeister. He's wearing the wrong jersey. He's normally a 20 number, but he is wearing 15 in this game tonight for Owensboro. And the first pitch to the batter, Cameron Olson, he swings and misses for a strike. Olson 2 for 5. He's had 2 hits in his last 2 at-bats.
These bugs are a little worse tonight than normal. Man, they're everywhere.
Well, it's because it's so hot. 0-2 right. The count as the pitches are called strike to Olson, to be followed by Mazzella and Bobby Clark here. Here's the 0-2 pitch. And the pitch taken down and in by Olson. 1-2 the count.
Well, the Hoppers have got to score a run tonight this time, don't they? We don't want to go half inning without a run.
I don't know if I've ever called that many baseball games where one team has scored a run in every inning.
Every inning. I don't think I've ever seen it.
Swing and a miss, and Olson's out on strikes. First strikeout for Hackmeister, 1 down in the inning. And here's Tony Mazzella. Mazzella came on in the 6th. He was called out on strikes from Wantagh, New York, where it's about 10:30. And I know his mom's still listening on the internet.
Guarantee if her son's playing, she's still listening.
Oh, I guarantee you. Here's the first pitch to Tony. Fastball strike. Mark, we had an interesting discussion the other night, and you being in the food business would appreciate this. Finney Knopfsinger, the general manager, and Mr. Mazzella got into a discussion about, as the pitch is a ball 1-1, which was better pizza, Chicago style or New York style. So they may have to have a little pizza cook-off.
We want to be there to judge. Todd and I want to judge.
Well,
okay.
you know, Finney asked us if we would judge.
Yeah.
I said absolutely.
Yeah, I'm always up for judging.
You're for judging too, aren't you, Mark?
2-1 the count to Mazzella as the pitch misses high from Hackmeister.
We got 3 judges right here.
We can handle that duty now.
That's right. We'll announce our winner, won't we?
Yeah.
Hey, you know what Jim Love says? The only thing better than free food is free food
delivered. You got it. Right. 3-1 the count to Mazzella.
I bet Dink came up with that. I bet Jim didn't come up with that.
I don't think Jim has anything original.
Yeah, Dink came up with that.
3-1 the count. The pitch to Mazzella. He was going for the downs and misses 3-2.
For you listening out there, Dink Emery was a long-time radio personality around Hopkinsville.
Yes, sir.
Passed away a few years ago.
Jim Love was his newsman and still is somewhat active as the pitch is fouled back. Jim's been to a few of these Hopper games. I've seen him at 2 or 3.
Yeah.
And he was wearing a Cubs hat.
He was. There's no doubt about that.
He's still proud of them, isn't he? They're 22 and 44 or something like that.
Yeah, but you know what he said the other day? He said they're a terrible baseball team. 3-2 pitch, and Mazzella on a foul tip strikes out. 2 down in the inning, and the batter will be Bobby Clark. Actually, Barbie's going to come out and bat.
You know, I had an interesting discussion with the Hoppers manager just before the game about him getting tossed the other night. I told him I was on his side.
Well, he was right. I mean, I agreed with it wholeheartedly as the pitch is a ball high to Kyle Barbie out of University Heights Academy. Barbie hitting at 118 on the year. He's driven in a couple of runs. He was 0 for 4 Monday night at Owensboro. And Kyle takes ball 2 outside on the year, 0 for 4 in that one game against Owensboro. 2 down in the bottom of the 8th, 13-1 Hoppers. Hackmeister, third pitcher of the night, delivers, and Barbie pops one up foul, first base side.
Let's go, Kyle.
You know,
excuse me, go ahead.
I've said this to some prominent officials. If this baseball really takes off, first a 2-1 pitch, here it is, and Barbie pops it up. Third baseman Rhodes has a beat, gives way to the shortstop.
Oh, he just about dropped it.
Who almost dropped it. And that will end the inning as the Hoppers go down 1-2-3 in the 8th. And after 8, it is 13-1 Hoppers. And misses on Barbie's first pitch, 0-1. He's 0 for 2 and reached on a hit batsman.
Slower, and slowest curves, what that was, man.
You got it.
He threw a little slow one.
Here's a pitch lifted in the air to center, and Brown backing up a few steps. He'll make the catch, and that is out number 1.
Hey, Todd, what's the terminology for a slow curve? A slurve?
Slurve? Yes, sir.
Slurve.
Mark, I was going to check for you here. Let's see if I can find it right quick. The Phillies are done for the night. I was going to see how it ended up.
Is he a Phillies guy?
He is a Phillies guy, yes, sir. Red Sox beat Miami 15-5. Wow. Mets beat the Orioles 4-3. Well, where did that score go? It was just here. So I thought.
Tell you the truth, I don't believe I'd be saying anything about a Cubs if I was a Phillies fan.
No.
Phillies rallied to beat the Rockies 7-6 tonight.
We were going to cover that topic.
This year, I'm not saying, man.
They are disappointing.
That is disappointing this year.
2 balls and no strikes to count to the batter Gonzalez.
They got some good players still, too.
They got some good players, and the bats are just not doing well.
No, they're not.
Speaking of bats, Gonzalez flies to center for the second out, so Owensboro down to its last out here in the 9th.
They say that they're Cole Hamels. If they keep this up, there'll be people trying to get him. But this is his last year of his contract. And,
that's right. They signed him to a 1-year extension.
So they're going to be anybody that's in contention is going to be paying a lot of money to get him there at the end.
You know, he's a SoCal boy. He may end up going back to that area to the Dodgers. Right? You know.
Yeah. Brandon Morris takes the first pitch for a ball. 13-1 Hoppers in the top of the 9th. Pitch by Kyle Barbie. Hit foul back to the plate. 1 ball and 1 strike. 1 ball, 1 strike.
I expected the Phillies to be right in the middle of it this year, but I don't know
did too.
How much are they below 500? 4 or 5 games, aren't they?
Yeah, about that.
Yeah.
1-1 pitch is a curve outside 2-1.
Yeah, the bats, the sticks have been a problem for them this year, and they they've got the pitching, but Halliday went on the disabled list, and that hurts. And they got production from
3-1 pitch to Morris as the last one missed is low for ball 4, and Kyle Barbie gives up his first walk. Back to the top of the order in Matthews, who is 0 for 3 with a walk and a run and an RBI. 13-1. Hoppers in the ninth. Strike. Good fastball. 0-1 to Matthews.
Mark, did you ever hear of Tony Kubek?
Oh, sure.
He played for Owensboro.
No kidding.
The Hoppers, and then a friend of mine called in a while ago.
He was a Yankee shortstop, right?
Yeah.
Yep. The Oilers were in the Kitty League with the old Hoppers. 1-1 to count to Matthews.
You got some more. Red Shandy's played for Union City.
Strike.
Bob Buell played for Milwaukee. They played in the Kitty League.
You think the listeners out there know what Kitty League stands for?
We've sort of explained it to them tonight.
Mm-hmm. Here's a 1-2 pitch, struck him out swinging, and that's the ball game.
Good pitch.
Kyle Barbie gets his second strikeout, and Owensboro is done here in the ninth inning. Mark, good to have had you up here with us tonight.
Thanks, Todd. Appreciate it very much. You guys do a great job, and I congratulate you on your effort here.
Thank you.
You take care.
13-1. The Hoppers win it here. We'll come back with totals, comments, and highlights in 2 minutes. You're listening to Hoppers Baseball on WHOP.
Well, the first time I shopped at Herb Hayes would have been probably about 37 years ago almost. That was when I was getting married to my husband. We were out shopping for furniture for our little small home, starter home, and came out here and have just been coming out ever since. The service is wonderful. Like I said, it's just like coming into a family.
Herb Hayes Furniture, always the best.
Back on the official Hoppers postgame show, 13-1. The Hoppers win it, and our game summary brought to you by Western Hills Golf Course on Russellville Road. Call 885-0623 for tee times or to plan a group outing at Western Hills Golf Course. Your totals, 13 runs, 16 hits, 1 error for the Hoppers. They strand 13, 1 run, 4 hits, 4 errors for the Owensboro Oilers in the ball game tonight. And they strand 8. Jason McDonald gets the win to go to 3-1 on the year. And Austin Pittman takes the loss. He's 0-2. The Hoppers scored in every inning but one. The only time they didn't score was in the 8th when they were set down in order 1, 2, 3, 2 in the first, 1 in the second, 4 runs on 6 hits in the third, 1 in the fourth, 1 in the fifth, 2 in the sixth, and 2 in the 7th inning of play in getting the 13-1 win. The Hoppers, the first team to reach to 10 in the Ohio Valley League. They are 10-4 on the year. Owensboro goes to 5-10 on this baseball season. The Oilers have now lost 3 games in a row, while the Hoppers have won 3 games in a row.
Tell you what, a lot of hitting, a lot of scoring, and like I said, the scorebooks. Look at your scorebook there, just run after batter. The Hoppers were playing good tonight.
No doubt about that, as they got the win here, 13-1. Well, there are several folks we could choose for player of the game, and it's brought to you by Four Seasons Catering at 9210 Newstead Road. Four Seasons Catering provides catering for on- or off-site functions. Call them at 881-4040 today. Your choices are Brett Pirtle, who went 3 for 4, Nolan Fisher, who went 3 for 5 with a home run. You've got Matt McGowan, who went 3 for 5 in this ball game, and you got Jason McDonald, who allowed a run on 3 hits in 6 innings of play.
All three of them, and the pitcher. I'll tell you what, they all deserve it.
Absolutely. So we'll give it all to Mr. Pirtle, Mr. Fisher, Mr. McGowan, and Mr. McDonald. They'll all split it tonight. Defensive Highlight brought to you by Model Cleaners, your one-stop dry cleaners. Remember, if your clothes are not becoming to you, they should be coming to us at Model Dry Cleaners on 1117 South Main Street, or call 885-5347. The play came in the 5th inning. It was the 3rd out. John Saylor hit a long fly ball to center field that Caleb Brown made a great over-the-shoulder catch. And that's our defensive highlight tonight for Model Cleaners. Well, the Hoppers will continue this 2-game homestand tomorrow night when they take on the Marion Bobcats. First pitch is at 7:05 with the exclusive Hoppers pregame show on the air at 6:50. It's Hopkinsville Community College night. And don't forget, bring your school supplies tomorrow night for the Family Resource and Youth Services Center, and you can get yourself a half-price ticket for $2.50. Not a bad deal at all. This one took 2 hours, 31 minutes to play it. Some 300 watched it as the Hoppers beat Owensboro 13-1, Mr. Ray.
People got their money's worth that come out to watch this tonight. A lot of scoring. If you like scoring, it's what you got tonight.
No doubt about it. Hoppers back in action tomorrow night against Marion at 7:05. We're on the air at 6:50. Until then, for the professional analyst Ray Dugan, I'm Todd Hamilton. Again, your final score tonight, the Hoptown Hoppers 13 and Owensboro 1. Till tomorrow night, thanks for being with us. Good night and so long from the ballpark.